Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got the next part of Apollo Justice, the Ace Attorney Trilogy for you guys. So you guys might remember that, like about over a week ago, we finished Dual Destinies, which was the second game in the trilogy, and now we're moving on to the third game. So the Phantom has been stopped, Phantom's been arrested, and now we are going to be doing the final game. And I think that this is the final Phoenix Wright game. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think this is the very final one. I've never played this game before also, so I've never played the Apollo Justice games, and this is, you know, the third game in the trilogy, but this is Spirit of Justice, and this game has 6 cases also. It has 5 cases, 5 main cases, and then 1 special episode, which is a DLC case that's after the main story. But anyways, let's do it. I'm really excited for this, and I've been reading your comments. A lot of you guys have told me that I will enjoy Spirit of Justice even more than Dual Destinies. A lot of you guys have said it's the best one. So anyways, let's do it. Episode 1. Here we go. The Foreign Turnabout. That's what this one is called. Okay. Prologue. So I wonder how long this takes place after Dual Destinies.
On the western edge of the Far East, lies a peaceful country of spirit mediums and mystery, the kingdom of Kurrain. But now, the flames of revolution are threatening to consume it whole. But things like revolt and revolution were the furthest things from my mind when I first arrived in this land.
Is this country supposed to be based on, like, Tibet? The Foreign Turnabout, Episode 1. So this isn't a new country that this game is going to take place in. Here in Kurrain, death is not the end. Even after death, the soul lives on in the Twilight Realm, and priestesses can commune with the spirits of the dead. Fear not death. In the name of the Holy Mother. Fear only the impurities of your soul. This blight on my soul, I'll have the child take the blame. April 23, 4:26 p.m. So this is like almost a year after after Dual Destinies. Why is Phoenix here? Ooh, I'm finally here. So this is the Kingdom of Kurrain, huh? What a long trip. I wonder how many hours I was in the air. But just look at this place. Get a load of this street. It really feels like I'm in another world here. And that gorgeous temple, I read that's the center of town. Ooh, an ox right in the middle of the street. I have to get a picture of that. Excuse me, sir. I wonder what kind of bird that is. I've never seen anything like it. That's quite a crest it has on its head. Excuse me, sir. What? Oh, yes. Pardon me, but are you Mr. Wright? Yes. That's right. That's right. Oops. He hasn't been trying to get my attention all this time. Wait a minute. Are you... That's right. Ahlbi or Gade at your service. Ahlbi or Gade. Let me, in the comments, can you guys tell me in the comments how am I supposed to pronounce that? I don't want to keep reading his name wrong. Ahlbi? Ahlbi, that's, I guess I'll say to him. I'm a monk in training at the Temple. That, oh man, the humor in these games. And I'll be your guide around town. It's very nice to meet you. Happy Raki. Happy what now? Happy Raki. That's how we greet people here in Kurrain. It's like hello, or how do you do? It's a pretty handy expression to know. Okay, let me give it a try. Hello, I'm Phoenix Wright. Happy Raki. My name is Phoenix Wright. And I run a small law office. Well, that's what I do back home anyway. Right now, I'm just a traveler, a stranger in a strange land. Welcome to our country. Welcome to the Kingdom of Kurrain, land of spirit, mediums, and mystery. This is for you, to celebrate your arrival. Speaking of mystery, what is this mysterious green lump exactly? Allow me to explain. This is a famous Kurrainese sweet bun. It's called a Maga Man, or soul bun. It looks a lot like the Magatama. It's shaped like a Magatama. Oh, yep, it's so yummy, it'll send your soul right to the Twilight Realm. That doesn't exactly make me eager to try it. Thanks. I think I'll indulge later. That will be 20 damas. Thank you for your patronage. I have to pay? I always have plenty of those on hand, so just let me know if you ever want any more. No wonder his bag looks so heavy. It's stuffed with all the tools of his trade. Oops, I almost forgot to tell you something really important. It's about Miss Maya. She can't come see you for a few days yet. Yeah, when I called her from the airport, she said she was still training up in the mountains. I told her I'd wait for her here. Either way, I was glad to hear she's in good spirits. Maya Fey. She's a spirit medium who used to work as my assistant. I came all the way out here to celebrate the end of her ascetic training of her. Ahlbi, this is my first time in this country, so I'll be counting on you, okay? You got it, sir. Please don't hesitate if you need anything at all. Maya was right when she told me I could leave everything in your capable hands. Aw, shucks, she said that? That sure was nice of her. I had a chance to show Miss Maya around a little bit, too. If there's one person Maya was worried about, it's me. Because we both know trouble likes to follow you wherever you go, she said. That girl worries too much. But you sure came early to the party, Mr. Wright, sir. I mean, Miss Maya won't be done for training for another 2 weeks. I hate to admit it, but I came early because I was worried about her, too. Oh, well, you know. I thought I'd get in a little sightseeing first. Oh, sightseeing? Well, I'm your man for that. I'll show you all the best sights this country has to offer. Thanks. That would be great. I guess Ahlbi takes his job very seriously. Well, what are we waiting for? Those sights aren't gonna see themselves. Yikes. You don't have to shove. First stop, Temple, right here in the center of town. There's something there I really want to show you. April 23, 4:45 p.m. Temple Plaza. Wow, it's even more impressive up close. Allow me to explain. This is the heart of our town, Temple. It was created by the founder of Kurrainism, the Holy Mother herself. I'm training right here at this temple to be a monk someday. I read that the people of this country are all adherents of Kurrainism. According to my guidebook, it's a religion in which ancestral spirits are venerated. The Holy Mother was a great spirit medium who could communicate with our ancestors' souls. And spirit mediums become queen to this day, direct descendants of the Holy Mother. Spirit medium rules the entire country, huh? Talk about power and influence. The main thing you'll want to see when you come to Temple is the Dance of Devotion, right? The Dance of Devotion takes place twice, once in the morning and once in the afternoon. This dance, along with the Song of Ceremonies, performed an offering to the Holy Mother. The The Dance of Devotion has the power to summon 4 souls from the Twilight. In Kurrainism, we believe this. It swings from a loop. Oh, hold it. Slow down. I can't even read all that really quick. I can't remember all of that at once. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got a little overexcited. Anyway, the main thing I got from all that is that you really, really love your country. Well, that's sure true. I like this kid. He pours his heart into everything he does. Let's see. I guess I just explained about half of what I usually explain. So I'll give you a special discount and only charge you 10 damas for the tour fee. Thank you for your patronage. I guess he pours his heart into aggressive salesmanship too. Come to think of it, Miss Maya told me she could tell I love my country too. We stood here for about an hour while I told her all about the Holy Mother. Really? An hour? Oh, that counted as patience training. And she seemed really interested too. She listened to my whole speech. Huh. That doesn't sound like the Maya I know. Miss Maya is so kind and nice. She treats me really well, like a little brother. She's kind of like a big sister to me. This is Maya Fey you're talking about, right? Maybe she's grown up since I last saw her. Oh no! What's the matter? Is it that time already? We have to hurry to the temple right away. But first, let me give you this lyrics card for the Song of Ceremonies I told you about. There's an English translation of the lyrics there too, so give it a read, okay? Let's go. But why the big rush? If we don't hurry, we'll miss the beginning of her benevolence day of devotion. Dance of devotion. Her benevolence. What's going on here?
I'll be your guide. You're under arrest for treason.
What the? So does this country have like a secret police? Because at the start I remember they showed like the police also. How did the police say his name? Ahlbi? Ahlbi. April 24, 10 a.m. High Court of Kurrain, accused lobby. Let me in. Why won't you let me in? Cause you're a foreigner. What business could you have with this court? Is that it? It's a different gun, but that looks a lot like a Sturmgewehr 44. That literally looks what STG 44 looks. The design of it looks very similar. I told you my friend is on trial in there. The police raided a temple in the middle of the dance performance yesterday and arrested Ahlbi on suspicion of treason. I was worried about Ahlbi, so I just had to come see his trial. A trial isn't a tourist attraction, so clear off. If you want a picture for your scrapbook, take one of me and get out of here. Look, you've got it all wrong. Just great. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do. Tell him I'm a lawyer. Yes, I'm a foreigner, but I'm not your average foreigner. What? I'm actually a lawyer. Back at home anyway. What? Lawyer? I can't. That's not possible. What's he so shocked about? Well, whatever. Now's my chance. Nothing wrong with a lawyer entering the courtroom, right? Wait, get back here, you. This is a Kurrain's courtroom. That pain? Wait, isn't that her benevolence? What's she doing here in court?
The divine, seance has been performed. I will now hand down my verdict against the accused. Guilty!
What? A verdict already, but the trial only just started. Guilty? There's gotta be some kind of mistake. Please take another look.
Seances performed by Princess Raifa are infallible. They show only the truth. What right do you have to question her abilities?
But I didn't. Isn't it? Oh, this is Pain. Do Pain's accent. Isn't it ironic that you, a devout adherent of Kurrainism, would dare doubt her insight? Hehehe. Non-believers will only be met with suffering in the Twilight Realm, you know? But I didn't do it. Your benevolence, allow me to explain, I beg of you. Be silent, impudent whelp. There is no merit to be had in indulging the ramblings born of a criminal's unclean soul. Well, looks like she's not very benevolent. But what in the world is going on here? The judge made his ruling based on something called divination seance? What is Ahlbi's attorney doing? What? Wait a minute. Where is Ahlbi's attorney? Why is this happening? I didn't do anything wrong. Foolish child. Doubting the divination seance is tantamount to doubting the Holy Mother herself. Your Majesty, as a royal priestess and in the name of the Holy Mother, I command you. Impose the highest penalty against this unclean soul.
As you command, so it shall be done, your benevolence. May her holiness grant us her divine favor, or Dihara Kurrain.
Objection!
What?
Wait just one moment. You're... me and my big mouth. Now what? Mr. Wright, what are you doing here, sir? Well, I'm in it now, so I have to do this right. Your Honor, it's too soon to give your verdict. The trial has only been underway for a few minutes.
Excuse me. Who on earth are you?
I'm, well... an ordinary tourist, Your Honor, just passing through.
Oh, tourist are you? Happy Rocky.
Oh my god. But more importantly, where is this boy's defense attorney?
Defense attorney? Whatever are you talking about? He doesn't need a defense attorney.
Wait, what?
Of course you wouldn't be aware, being a foreigner and all. But we have no need for defense attorneys here in the Kingdom of Kurrain.
What? Why? We leave it all up to her benevolence's sacred power of spirit communion. That's stupid.
Her divination seances determine all.
What? But surely you see how unfair that is. What kind of insane court system are they running here? And, basically what I think that the creators of Ace Attorney are trying to go with is, in Apollo Justice, one of the morals of the story in Apollo Justice was that a jury system is always better than trial by judge. Jury system is always superior to trial by judge. And they showed that in the very final case in Apollo Justice. And so I think the lesson that they're trying to show here is that every single country has a different court system. You know, what might be legal in American court might be illegal in another court. And so, but, you know, some countries have very, you know, unfair court systems. Very, very, very unfair court systems. Now, the thing about this is, I'll tell you, is America's court system is not perfect. Our justice system isn't perfect. But, for example, if you compare America's justice system to Japan, I actually just want to look this up just to be sure. It's before I don't want to say wrong statistic on the video. But let me just look this up here really quick. I'm going to look up what the conviction rate is in Japan, because looking up the conviction rates in countries usually tells you actually what kind of court system they typically have. Conviction rate in Japan, let's see. Yep, just like I thought. Japan has a 99% conviction rate. 99%. And people might think, oh, that's a good thing. No, it's not. Like, having a very high conviction rate, you don't want to have a really low conviction rate either, too, but you don't want to have an extremely high conviction, like 99%. You're telling me that 99% of people that are brought to trial are guilty? No. Yeah, so Japan's justice system is actually very strict. A lot of people don't know that. And you have a lot more rights in America in the justice system compared to, like, Japan. In American trials, you have way more rights than you would in a Japanese trial. But let me just see conviction rate in USA. What is the conviction rate in the US? Let's see here. I'm getting different. There's no direct answer. Let's see here. Yeah, so, it says that, America's conviction rate, it's a little bit weird, what I'm seeing on here. It's saying that America's conviction rate is like 89, 90%. There's like a few articles where Japan, I just had one answer on it right away. But in America, a lot of our trials actually end in plea bargains, so we don't really even take it to trial, where basically the person pleads guilty to the crime and they're sentenced to prison. They take a plea deal to basically admit to their guilt, and for reduction for basically admitting to their guilt and avoiding the trial, they get a reduced sentence. And yeah, so why does Japan have such a high conviction rate? Let me just look that up. Scholars say the biggest reason for Japan's very high conviction rate is the country's low prosecution rate, and why the way Japan calculates its conviction rate. What do people say? It says here also another thing, that Japan has a 99% conviction rate, but prosecutors only pursue cases that they think they can absolutely win. Where in America, prosecutors don't pursue a lot of cases that they think they can win. Okay, so there's a difference there. But here's the thing is, there are countries that have, much worse, legal systems than, Japan and the US. There's a lot of countries where there's regimes out there, like dictatorships, and basically, trials are just specifically set up to be show trials, pretty much. What a show trial basically is it's where a government will create, like, a trial for a defendant, and they'll basically say, oh, this person's gonna get a fair trial, and the trial is just there just to make it seem like the person's getting a fair trial, but the conviction has already been decided beforehand. A lot of countries do show trials. You would dare mock me, you barb-headed buffoon. If you value your life, you will leave post-haste, or shall I summon the bailiff? The bailiff is that big scary dude with the big scary gun, isn't he? I'm sure he would be happy to oblige you with a bullet or two as a souvenir of your travels. At the cost of an arm and a leg, no doubt. No, hold on, Mr. Wright has nothing to do with any of this. Ahlbi, I appreciate what you're trying to do, Mr. Wright, but never mind about me. You just go ahead and go see Miss Maya. I will also say, do you know what one of the first few countries in the world was that actually started doing innocent until proven guilty? It was actually America and revolutionary France. Because a lot of countries back then, it was basically you're guilty until proven innocent. And basically what the difference is, the difference between that, is that when you're, if it's a situation, a country that's trying you, and the system that they're using is guilty until proven innocent, basically you are guilty at the start of the trial, and you have to prove to the court that you're not guilty. Whereas in innocent until proven guilty is you are assumed to be innocent, and then during court, the prosecutor is going to try to prove that you are guilty. Innocent until proven guilty is the best way forward because it's up to the prosecution to show evidence. If somebody's accusing you of being part of something, you don't have to be the one to show the evidence for it. They should be the one that are showing the evidence for it. So if you have a system where it's guilty until proven innocent, there can just be so many just false convictions. There's so many people accused of just ridiculous things, and it can just get completely out of control. And that's what France was like before the revolution. France was like that. It was guilty until proven innocent. And a lot of people think that the French Revolution's trials, they think the French Revolution's trials were like very rigged, which they kind of were later on, but what people don't talk about is the monarchy. The monarchy before the French Revolution, the trials were very rigged. If you were like sent to a trial in monarchist France, you were almost always going to be convicted. That's what it was almost always like. During the French Revolution, they brought in innocent until proven guilty, and the trial system actually worked. It worked pretty well for a lot of time. But then what happened was when the Reign of Terror came in and Robespierre basically started going crazy and he, just went insane and lost his mind, the trials started becoming show trials and they started getting rigged. But at the start, the French legal system at the start was actually pretty good before the Reign of Terror happened, that is. But forget about me. You have to go now. I'm sure you can find another guide. There were lots more places I wanted to show you, but it looks like I won't get a chance now. I'm sorry. Poor kid. He's trying to put on a brave face, but look how terrified he is. What can I do? What should I do? I'll defend Ahlbi. I can't just let a verdict be handed down. Nobody's standing in Ahlbi's corner. If Ahlbi doesn't have a defense attorney, then I'll do it. I'll defend him.
Defend him? You can't be serious.
Did you hear that? Is he out of his mind? Heaven forbid. Defend me, Mr. Wright. What are you saying? You can't do that. I most certainly can. Don't worry, I'm quite used to tackling all sorts of trials. Besides, can you imagine how furious Maya would be if I let anything happen to you? Mr. Wright.
You are but a naive tourist, ignorant of our ways. But if you are smart, you will heed my advice. Do not pursue this matter any further.
Looks like defending somebody is easier said than done in this country.
Bailiff, throw this man out.
Your Majesty, if you please.
You have something to say, Mr. Payne?
Why not allow it, Your Majesty? Why not have him defend the accused? It could prove very interesting, right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Right. Mr. Whoever you are.
Prosecutor, are you acquainted with this traveler?
That's Chief Prosecutor, Your Majesty. And yes, I am acquainted with him, but which Payne is this? Because there's two Payne brothers. He's a defense attorney from my native land. I've had dealings with him in the courtroom before. Heavens to Betsy. What? Mr. Wright, you're a defense attorney? Nobody told you?
A defense attorney? Well, this is a shock.
You may be surprised to hear that I have more than 10 years of experience. Guess there aren't all that many lawyers around here. Your Majesty, would you kindly allow us to proceed in the matter of my old country?
But Mr. Payne, I've already made a ruling in this case.
Call it nostalgia if you will, but I'm most eager to give it a try.
But I have a previous engagement, you see. A class together with the missus.
Your Majesty, I agree. We should have a whack at it. It sounds amusing. A score of years have passed since we last saw a defense attorney in this courtroom. A score, as in 20 years. What's the deal with this country? Mr. Payne, I want that barbed head brought to me on a stick. As you wish, Your Benevolence. I, Chief Prosecutor Payne, will see to it myself.
Very well, Mr. Payne. If that is what you and her benevolence want, I will acquiesce. As for the defense, I hope you are prepared for every eventuality.
Every eventuality? What is he talking about? There, are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Yes, thank you, Mr. Payne. And sorry for not remembering you earlier. That's Chief Prosecutor, or the Incredible Payne as I'm known in this country. And you'll see soon enough just why that is. So Payne is a pretty incompetent prosecutor. When you're forced to capitulate to me before this very court of law. Why is he so strangely confident? Not only that, but... what's with the gallery?
Just you watch, that defense attorney will try and twist the truth. You can bet on it.
Get him, Chief Prosecutor. Crush that defense devil. This is way more lawyer hate than ever, even back home.
Now, if you would please give your opening argument once again, Mr. Payne.
Certainly, Your Majesty. The accused is charged with 2 crimes, larceny and murder. Larceny also is a form of theft. Yesterday, the Founder's Orb was stolen from the treasure room at Temple. In addition to the theft, 2 other things were discovered in the treasure room. The dead body of Mr. Patel Rahul, Temple security guard, and the empty treasure box that housed the orb, which Mr. Rahul was in charge of guarding. We believe that Mr. Rahul was murdered by the thief who stole the treasure.
To kill a guard armed with a gun? What a terrifyingly bold act.
I couldn't agree more, Your Majesty. Please allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and crime photo. Rahul's autopsy report. Time of death is around noon. His head shows signs of being hit with a blunt object. Crime photo. The temple's treasure room. The body was discovered at the base of the stairs to the altar.
It's been a long time since we had evidence presented in court as well. It's kind of refreshing, actually.
We may rely on the power of the seances, but our police still carry out investigations. Thus, any proof I provide is indisputable. Oh, really? Well, forgive me if I don't just take your word for it. I can check the evidence out myself by looking in the court record. Take a look at it. Song of Ceremony. When Dragon and Tiger battle, the Founder offers divine protection. When the butterfly embraces the Mitama, the favor of the orb is bestowed. Pat Rahul's autopsy report. Time of death, April 23, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Cause of death, cerebral contusion from a head injury. Body. We'll see just how thoroughly you and your police were, Mr. Payne.
Such a deplorable crime. The audacity of stealing the sacred treasure of Her Holiness, our founding mother. It's a crime that strikes at the very heart of our nation.
Exactly, Your Majesty. We mustn't let the culprit get away with these heinous deeds. Indeed, such deeds are best described as treason against the crown. Is this treasure really such a valuable object?
How can you even ask such a thing? Why, sealed within this treasure is the very soul, the Mitama of the Holy Mother.
Her soul is sealed within the treasure. I think I'll take that with a grain of salt.
You don't believe it, do you?
Of course I believe it. Something tells me I'd better play along.
This kind of irrelevance is exactly why I dislike defense attorneys so much.
Your Honor, Your Majesty.
What is it now?
This treasure. I've never seen it, so it's a little hard for me to imagine. Could I see a photo of it or something?
Of all the outlandish requests, your defense attorneys are truly beyond the pale.
He's been getting awfully angry with me. Are those veins popping out of his forehead? It's forbidden for anyone outside of the royal family to view the treasure itself. What? How stupid is that? So, how can you know that the treasure is stolen if nobody outside of the royal family can see it? That's... They say that anyone without the proper spiritual power would be blinded instantly. That is why the average person has never seen the treasure, Mr. Wright. Guess there are national treasures that are off limits to the public back home, too. For the benefit of the shamelessly uninformed defense, let me share this newspaper article. It includes photos taken about 8 years ago, when the treasure was unearthed. These are the only public photos of the outer box in existence. What's more, the treasure box only leaves the temple's treasure room but once a year, for a special New Year's rite that takes place at the palace. Therefore, this treasure box has only ever been seen by a handful of people. Treasure box, forced open and its contents stolen. The average person can only see it in a newspaper article.
I hear there's been a string of thefts lately of historic artifacts from the temple.
Right, Your Majesty. Inexcusable thievery of precious national treasures for a personal gain. And the culprit is the accused.
So he used his position as a monk in training to get in, hands on the treasure, is that it? But how would a child manage to overpower a guard?
The accused family is by no means wealthy. To help with family finances, he works as a tour guide in addition to his aesthetic training.
Thank you for giving an excellent outline of the case, Mr. Payne. Now then, no more questions from the defense, I presume.
What? No, I do have questions.
Even more? But you just asked a bunch. Well, make it snappy. My class starts in just a few short minutes.
What? He's still planning on going to that thing? There's still a lot I don't know about the case. Should ask now while I have the chance. Let's see. What else do I need to know more about? We haven't been told what the weapon is. Yeah, the weapon. Mr. Payne, what was the murder weapon? The murder weapon was the treasure box itself. What? The empty treasure box left at the scene had a large bloodstain on it. How utterly
reprehensible, using the sacred treasure box for murder.
The accused came to the treasure room with the express purpose of stealing the treasure. He climbed the altar stairs and snatched the box, ready to abscond with it. So, there's something I don't like about this already, is... How this is their sacred treasure of this country, and only the royal family is allowed to look at this treasure. So, why is there only one guard guarding it? You would think you'd have more guards, and you'd think you have some kind of security system, lasers, camera, some kind of alarm, something on that. How would a child manage to get through that and manage to kill a guard too? But he was discovered by Mr. Rahul, who had come to the room in the course of his rounds. After walloping Mr. Rahul in the head with the treasure box, the accused forced the bloodied housing open and made off with the treasure inside. Forced open the murder weapon, off limits to the public. The photos in the paper are the only ones of it in existence if its contents were stolen. But the defendant is just a little boy. I hardly think he will be able to hit the victim, a grown man, on the head. Ah, a very good point, Mr. Wright. But I'm afraid that won't help you. At the time of the crime, the accused was on the stairs leading up to the altar. Are they saying that he threw it at him or he hit him when he was coming up the stairs? The accused elevated position will more than make up for the difference in stature. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Mr. Payne, your reasoning is flawless. What an elegant argument. Hats off to you, Chief Prosecutor.
Your title is obviously well-earned.
Oh, your title is obviously well-earned. Well, the accused's guilt is certainly conclusive. Unless there is anything else, I am ready to announce my verdict. Very well, in that case, I find the accused...
Just one moment, Your Majesty. Don't you think you're rushing the verdict just a little bit?
I told you, I have plans to attend to, and... Oh! I'm late, it's already started! How did the time fly by so fast?
He's still stuck on that. We haven't even heard the defendant's side of the story yet. Your Majesty, the defense asserts its right to cross-examine the defendant. They don't have cross-examinations, do they? Huh? Did I say something funny?
Cross-examine the... What do you mean by that?
Yeah, they don't have it. What? What do you mean, what do I mean?
I seem to have some dim recollection of the process, but I can't quite recall.
And little wonder, a so-called defendant hasn't been questioned in over 20 years. Should I even be surprised anymore? Anyway, I demand we let the defendant or the accused tell his side of the story.
Is that really necessary?
Yes! Of course it's necessary, Your Majesty. What harm could it do? I say we allow the boy to speak, Your Majesty. Though I doubt he'll have anything of the relevance to say. Oh, how kind of you, Your Royal Painness.
Very well, as long as it's okay with you, Mr. Payne. I'm already hopelessly late for my class anyway.
In that case, the prosecution calls the accused back to the witness stand.
Oh, well before we do, I better call my wife and apologize for missing that class. Any objections?
Go for it, Your Majesty. Accused, state your name and occupation again if you would. Ahlbi, Orgade. I'm in training to be a monk, and I'm a tour guide too.
Why me? Now, where were we?
Cross-examining the defendant, Your Majesty.
Right. Let's do that then. At the defense attorney's insistence, I might add.
He sounds a little dispirited. His wife must have given him a piece of her mind.
Well, the defense had better get to it, and make it quick if you please.
The defense? Mr. Wright, I didn't know you were a lawyer. Well, I am, and I'm here to defend you, Ahlbi. Don't worry, all you have to do is tell the truth, and you'll be alright. You tricked me! What? If I knew you were a lawyer, I wouldn't have given you that tour. Give back that MAGA-fam, man I gave you yesterday. Ahlbi, what's gotten into you? Don't talk to me, you disgust me. Now, even Ahlbi's against me. But why? So, in this country, they probably hate lawyers. This must be a new experience for you, Mr. Wright. Being loathed by a client. Now then, accused. Please give the court your testimony. The incident occurred around noon, during the break between the morning and afternoon dances of devotion. I want you to tell the court what you were doing around that time. Alright. Witness testimony. I like how, like, the theme changes for, like, the Kurrain theme for the accused's account. I didn't kill Mr. Rahl, and I didn't steal the treasure. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the treasure room. I've never even seen that treasure box with the green Kurrainese butterfly on it. When the incident happened, I was in the hallway planning out my tour route. Oh. I already caught him in a lie. I already know, hang on. I already caught him in a lie.
Were you well acquainted with the victim?
Yes, he used to chat with me whenever we ran into each other in the temple. Mr. Rahl was a monk in training when he was a kid too, you know. Bet Ahlbi looked up to him. But he had to give that up and go to work when his family needed money. That's why he became a guard, but at least that way he could still stay on at the temple. He was so proud when he was put in charge of guarding the treasure box. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite. The victim's parents apparently both died relatively young, so Mr. Rahl had to support his younger brothers and sisters as well. But even with his job as a security guard, I'm sure things couldn't have been easy for him. Sounds like his circumstances and Ahlbi's were very similar. Mr. Rahl encouraged me to never give up. Ahlbi, you're trained hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me, he'd say. He was always cheering me on in my training, and in my tour guide business too. Why in the world would I kill a nice man like that?
Yes, I see. You express yourself well. Defense, now that you've heard the accused's account, are you finally satisfied? If so, let's draw this to an expeditious conclusion. No! But Your Majesty, I haven't even cross-examined the defendant yet. That wasn't the end of it? It's been so long, I don't rightly recall what this cross-examining thing is all about.
A judge who doesn't know what a cross-examination is. What fresh hell is this?
I really do wish I could remember how it works.
Did I give the judge a refresher on the cross-examination? Might as well. I guess I better, or we'll never get anywhere. Your Majesty, please allow me to explain the procedure. First, we lawyers listen carefully to witnesses' testimony. Then we use present R1 to open the court record and examine the evidence.
And why would you do that?
To find and present triangle any evidence that's inconsistent with the statements given.
Present? I certainly don't need any gifts from you.
Clearly something is getting lost in translation with His Majesty. The point is, it's possible that a statement could contain a lie or a mistake. But
what do you do if you can't find any inconsistencies in the witness's testimony?
in that case, we may press L1 the witness for more information. Pressing a statement might reveal new information or even entirely new statements.
Presenting evidence is one thing, but pressing witnesses? I'll have you know, defense, that I do not allow violence in my courtroom.
Rest assured, only gentle verbal pressure is used, no physical force involved.
Well, I'm not convinced. After all, who knows what sort of tactics an attorney will resort to. One false move and I'll call the bailiff.
Yeah, something definitely getting lost in there. For now, I should just focus all of my energy on questioning Ahlbi and comparing his statements with the information in the court record. Okay, so I know what... There was something wrong with the statement. I'll show you guys what I noticed right away when he was saying it. I noticed it immediately. Where the mistake was. Oh, and look, for the errors, we got the 3, Kurrain Magatama symbols up there. I didn't kill Mr. Rahl, and I didn't steal the treasure. I'm not allowed to go anywhere near the treasure room. I've never even seen that treasure box with the green, Kurrainese butterfly on it. This, yeah. See this? The murder weapon. Off limits to public. The photos in the paper are the only ones in existence. Its contents were stolen. These are the only photos in existence. So how would he know that it has a green Kurrainese butterfly on it? Yeah, unless he's talking about from this picture, but it has to be this. I think it's this right away.
Objection!
Oh, yep, I got it right away. Oh, Ahlbi, why would you lie to me? So you say you've never laid eyes in the treasure box, is that right? That's right. It's forbidden, so I never do that. In that case, how did you know there was a green butterfly on it? Huh? Because I saw a picture of it in that newspaper article, but it's black and white. Nope, take another look. These photos are in black and white. You couldn't possibly tell what color the butterfly is from these pictures. Ah! Hold on. His bag. Did it just move? What is that?
Polkunka.
I beg your pardon? Polkunka is a word in Kurrainese that people use when they're surprised.
You just exposed a lie. So this is your power of cross-examination, is it?
I should be the one shocked here by your shocking lack of understanding.
But, just a moment. If the accused was lying, then that just makes him more suspicious than ever.
And this just makes this thing worse for me than ever. Ahlbi, are you hiding something? So here's the thing. You never want to lie to court. Ever. Because if you lie to court, look, here's the thing is, people lie even when they're innocent. This happens too. People lie when they're innocent. And the reason they lie when they're innocent is because they think that it'll be easier for them. They think that if they create a lie, that it'll help them, but it's not going to help them. You never want to lie to court. Literally, if you don't want to talk, you can use your right to remain silent. I plead the fifth. But if you're going to give a statement, never lie. Don't ever do that. Because, first of all, you can get in serious trouble for that. And secondly, is that it's going to hurt you. Because the prosecution is going to use that against you. So we know that Ahlbi isn't the one who killed the security guard, because that guy that we saw with the long hair at the start did it. But he lied about this, so don't ever lie. He's lying about it because in his culture, that nobody's allowed to see it. But he probably saw it. He was probably good friends with that guard, and that guard probably showed it to him. That's probably what happened. Are you hiding something? Please give only true statements. I can't help you if you don't tell the truth. Darn, I just can't seem to get him to open up to me. So accused, you have seen the treasure box with your own eyes after all, haven't you? Well, maybe I did take a peek on one time a long time ago when I was cleaning the treasure room. But you weren't in the treasure room at the time of the incident, right? Of course I wasn't. That is a lie. You were most definitely inside the treasure room on the day of the incident. What proof do you have? And I have proof. He does? This was found on the floor of the treasure room. It's a scroll entitled Notice and contains a list of temple monk duties. These instructions pertain to the day of the incident. And what exactly is that supposed to prove? The accused's fingerprints were found on the scroll. What? Oh no! Where is it? It's not here. I must have dropped it somewhere. Now I feel bad for Ahlbi. Indeed, you must have dropped it when you were busy murdering the victim. Notice. A notice from the day of the incident. The defendant's fingerprints were found on it. No. That means Ahlbi was there on the day of the incident?
Oh! So this is the power of cross-examination. The more the accused talks, the guiltier he paints himself.
Yes, it would seem so, Your Majesty. He predicted my argument and had evidence ready to refute it. How is any of that supposed to help the accused? See? I told you you can't trust lawyers and their lies. Her benevolence already said the kid's guilty. Just declare him guilty and get it over with. No. Everything's going all wrong. What should I do? What do I do?
As I suspected, this cross-examination session has served no purpose whatsoever.
No, you're wrong.
But armed as we are for benevolence's insight, there's no reason to doubt his guilt.
Then I guess I'll just have to poke holes in this insight of hers.
By the way, this didn't prove to be very interesting at all, Mr. Payne. Nevertheless, I will now finally announce my verdict.
Wait just one moment, Your Majesty. I haven't seen this divination seance for myself yet. As a defense, I have the right to check it.
Is that really necessary? I have to get home and apologize to my wife.
Aw, man. I guess she really did give him the business. Your Majesty, I enthusiastically support having Mr. Wright see the seance.
You do? And why is that, Mr. Payne?
Don't you want to see it? See the lawyer being utterly crushed by the power of the seance? And then watch him tearfully beg for mercy?
Well, now.
I'm sure it'll make up for not getting to go to the class with your wife.
It certainly does sound worth seeing, and it'd give me a juicy tidbit to tell the missus. Ah!
I've been reduced to a juicy tidbit?
Well, for an interloper, I imagine you do have to see it for yourself to be convinced. It's certainly unprecedented, but let's have the divination seance performed again. But then, right after that tearful begging, I really do have to be going.
The only tearful begging is going to be coming from the prosecution when we're through. How pitiful the defense looks, still scrambling desperately for a foothold. So here's the thing is, Payne is a massive narcissist, and he's really arrogant. He's lost every single case to Phoenix, and he basically just wants to rub it into Phoenix's face. That's why he's allowing Phoenix to do all this, but it's going to backfire on him really badly. Blissfully unaware that defeat and despair are all that await him. There she is, her benevolence.
Your benevolence. Reva Padma Kurrain, thank you for coming all this way once again.
Your gratitude is unnecessary. This is simply my duty. Barb-headed attorney. Yes? I am told you questioned the veracity of the sacred divination seance. It would seem the depths of your irrelevance and blasphemy are lost on you. I'm just a foreigner, ignorant in the ways of customs of this country. I apologize in advance for anything rude I might say or do, Your Benevolence. All I want is a fair trial for Ahlbi. You would imply that the trials of this country are unfair? Do explain, outsider. How verdicts founded on truths imparted by the very souls of the dead lack impartiality. Yeah, so throughout history, there actually have been a lot of religious courts. Most of Europe actually used to be, pretty much all of Europe actually used to be religious courts back in the day. But, you know, today there really isn't any religious court that I can think of. Maybe the only religious court that I can think of would probably be the Vatican, but even the Vatican is probably not going to use religion directly in the courtroom. But there are actually countries, in the world that still actually use religion, in the courtroom. And, personally, I don't agree with that at all. I don't think that you can use religion in a courtroom because, first of all, not everyone believes in that religion. And secondly, a courtroom is just based on everything, on evidence. That's primarily what a courtroom is based on. A trial is based on primarily on evidence, showing evidence and trying to prove something. That's primarily what trials are about. And you cannot bring religion into that. Now, I'm not, you know, criticizing religion, I'm not attacking religion in any way, but, you know, I'm just basically saying is that, you know, you cannot, not everybody believes in the exact same religion, and so you need direct evidence for something. And so you cannot come in and you can say, like, you know, I have some, you know, spirit powers, I can commune with this, and so therefore this is allowed. That's why we don't allow psychics in court, specifically for that reason. Like, we're not going to allow somebody to testify based on being a psychic, because it just, you know, it's just unrealistic. What's fair about trials with no defense and no chance for the accused to tell their story?
How dare you speak to her benevolence in that matter?
Did you hear that? Did you hear how he talked to her benevolence? What does he know about anything? Ignorant outsider. We won't stand for it. He must be punished. Yikes. Looks like I really stuck my foot in this time. Punish him! Punish him! Punish him! Punish him! Silence, one and all. Is she standing up for me? Be not disquieted, quieted, my people. He merely expresses his opinion. Well, looks like her benevolence is going to be more reasonable than I thought. Attorneys are ghastly creatures, with souls stained black by brazen untruths. The words of a lowly warp such as that are not worth troubling yourselves over. Alright, I take that back. None of his, prating, can sway the truth of insights. Rest assured, he will soon see the error of his foolish ways.
Now then, your benevolence. The divination seance, if you would.
Certainly. Nana, my robe. Okay.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
What the? Okay, this is the weirdest courtroom that I think I've ever seen in an Ace Attorney game. So she does this for every single trial. I can't imagine how many times she has to come to court. Okay, what is that supposed to accomplish? Incense. Song of ceremony, boy's voice. Pain. What just happened? An image appeared in the pool?
A final message from the victim's soul. The last communication of his mitima. The divination seance has revealed this to us.
Her benevolence can use her power of spirit communion to project the victim's memories the last few moments before their demise. So what we saw in the pool is what Mr. Rawl actually experienced. In the victim's memories, we see the accused raising a weapon over his head. This is consistent with the findings of the police investigation. There has to be some kind of mistake. I didn't do it. This looks bad for Ahlbi. Really, really bad. Now do you see why I'm the incredible pain? More than I can express. But even if those really are the victim's last memories, what can I do with them? There it is. There's the face of a man being utterly crushed. Oh, how long I've waited to see it. Isn't it wonderfully gratifying, Your Majesty? And the thing about this is that the killer, whoever killed this security guard, the guy with the long hair, he has to know how the system works. So he has to know that that's probably the last memories that will be shown. So the killer probably knows that will be shown, so he somehow manipulated it.
Oh yes, very satisfying indeed. Now, are you finally convinced, Traveler? The accused is most assuredly guilty.
Am I really the only unbiased one here?
Now then, I think we've been amused enough. If you give up now, I won't even invoke the Defense Culpability Act against you. You'll be free to slink back to your own country with your tail between your legs.
The Defense Culpability Act? What's that?
What? You mean you honestly don't know?
No. What's with all the hubbub? Well. Not only is he a lying, black-hearted lawyer, he's also an imbecile. Your Majesty, I think you better explain the Defense Culpability Act to him.
Yes, I think I'd better. The Defense Culpability Act, or DC Act for short, is as follows. In the name of Her Eminence, those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In other words, if you help the accused by defending him, and he is found guilty, you will receive the same sentence as he.
What? What? What kind of insane law is that? Is it a law in a dictatorship? That's what it is. Yeah, this country is a theocracy. For people that don't know what a theocracy is basically a religious dictatorship. That's what it is. This is a theocracy, this country. Under the DC Act, an attorney has been convicted and met with the grim fate.
Some went to prison, others received the death penalty. That's why there are so few in our country today who admit to being an attorney.
That's as it should be. The history of our courts proves that attorneys are black-souled creatures who will tell any lie to save the accused. Thus, attorneys deserve to be exterminated.
Exterminate! Annihilate!
And the people in this country are brainwashed. I've never felt so much hostility coming at me from so many sides. What could have happened to make everyone feel this way? You fell right into my trap, Phoenix, right? Your win streak against me and my brother ends today. With the seance and the DC Act on my side, I'll finally get my revenge. So that's why you were so eager to have me defend Ahlbi. Chased out and humiliated back home, fate brought me to the footholds of Kurrain. I thank my lucky stars that I'm chief prosecutor here now. So he's bragging about being chief prosecutor in a place where prosecutors have a 100% conviction rate. Yep, that's definitely skillful.
Defense, know that if I rule that the accused is guilty, you will go to prison too.
So basically, Payne is a pretty incompetent prosecutor. He couldn't make it back in Phoenix Wright's country, which it's still confusing on whether we fully don't know whether the Ace Attorney games take place in Japan or America. It's kind of like a combination of both. But regardless, compared to Phoenix Wright's country, it's no wonder that Payne came here, because he's an incompetent prosecutor. Only an incompetent prosecutor can succeed in a country where prosecutors win 100% of cases. That explains Ahlbi's reaction earlier. Defend me, Mr. Wright. What are you saying? You can't do that. Your Majesty, isn't the prison sentence a bit lenient after all? We're talking about treason. One should pay for such a crime with one's life.
Yes, I believe that the death penalty might be appropriate under these circumstances.
You're gonna give a child a death penalty? Is the death penalty? No way. You're kidding, right? Your Majesty.
Do I look like I'm kidding? I'll have you put your life and your dark-tainted soul on the line here.
The death? This can't be happening. The courts of resignation. Our courts are well known as thus. In this land where my seances provide the truth, and no attorneys can intervene. Criminals know that all they can do is resign themselves to their fate.
Oh, foreign lawyer, I ask you once more. Are you sure you still want to defend the accused?
There's Maya to think of in all of this too. I can't just lay down my life. What in the world should I do? Continue the defense. It's the right thing to do. Isn't this why I became a lawyer in the first place? To help those with no one on their side. That's Phoenix. When he was a child, he was accused of something he didn't do in school. He was accused of stealing money. I can't just abandon everything I believe in. All I can do now is stand firm and fight. Well, don't hold your tears back on my account, Phoenix Wright. Admit your defeat and grovel before me, the chief prosecutor, for your life. Even if it means being subject to the Defense's Culpability Act. I will defend Ahlbi. But what? But Mr. Wright. That's the spirit of justice Phoenix playing. The defendant insists he's innocent. And not even a divination seance should be accepted without examination.
Polkunka!
But if I'm found guilty, you'll get the death penalty too. Even knowing that, you'll still want to defend me? I don't know what happened in the past, but it looks like everyone in this country considers lawyers to be liars. So I can understand if you don't believe me. But I still believe in you and your innocence. So all I have to do is keep believing and find the truth. That's all there is to it. Haha, barb-headed attorney. You continue to amuse me. Though your barbed jabs are proving to be more than mere jokes. Your benevolence. Believe me when I say that this attorney will knock your insides out. Insolent, disrespectful attorney. You'll have plenty of time to regret your folly in the Twilight Realm.
Not a wise move, traveler. Not wise at all. You should have taken the chance I offered to save your life. But you have made your choice. The Defense Culpability Act will be applied in this case. And with this verdict, you'll both be soon parting with your heads.
The souls of the departed speak only the truth, and I but give their message a voice. If you think my insights contain falsehood, I challenge you to prove it. I wanna prove her wrong so badly and make her look stupid. I really do. I'm really determined to prove her wrong now. The accused swung whatever he was holding down on the victim's head. With the pain, the victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. Still, I can't believe it. A murder after the morning dance of devotion. These are the victim's experiences just before his death. As the victim's final memories, we can assume they aren't lies. How do I break this down? The victim didn't see what he thought he saw. That's probably what it is. Allow me to relieve you of your ignorance, defense. Did you notice the words that appeared in the seance vision? Song of Ceremony, Boy's Voice, Incense. Come to think of it, I did see the words like Song of Ceremony and Incense. The victim's final memories are not limited to sight alone. Sight, smells, taste, sound, touch, all is laid bare in the pools of souls. So what Mr. Rawl experienced with his 5 senses appears in the vision as words, right? Precisely. And by examining these sensations, we can perceive the victim's final moments with unparalleled clarity. Works for me. I can use all the extra information I can get. Now to find a contradiction between her insights and the seance vision. Your benevolence, I ask that you please show me the seance vision again. Very well. Okay, so there's gonna be something wrong here, because we know that Ahlbi is not the killer. Incense. Song of Ceremony, Boy's Voice. We can't even see what he's holding. Pain. Wait a minute. Her benevolence said after the morning dance of devotion earlier, didn't she? Isn't there something off about that? First, I'll use L and L to make my way to the insight that seems off. The accused swung whatever he was holding down on the victim's head. With the pain, the victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. Still, I can't believe it. A murder after the morning dance of devotion. Yes, this is the insight that sounded funny. Now I'll just carefully compare this insight with the seance vision. I notice a sensation that seems contradictory. I'll select a triangle on it. This is the part of the vision that contradicts the insight. Now I just select a sensation I think is inconsistent and present. Triangle. The Song of Ceremony.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. Yes? What is it, barbed-headed? You're saying the incident occurred after the morning dance of devotion, right? That's right. What song of it? What of it? Then, isn't it strange that Mr. Rawl could still hear the Song of Ceremony?
Oh my, you're absolutely right.
Oh, she's gonna be proven wrong. Is that all that troubles you? Huh? What the victim heard was just a practice run of the Song of Ceremony. Practice run? What are you talking about? Mr. Payne, if you would. Certainly. Allow me to explain. The incident occurred in the interval between the morning and the afternoon dances. During that time, the singers were practicing in the performance hall. Precisely. I was there as well, so I can corroborate the statement.
I see. So, what the victim heard was that practice session.
Ugh, there goes my contradiction. Okay, so they were practicing in this performance hall. That must be the room where Ahlbi and I saw her benevolence dancing.
However, Mr. Payne, I admit one detail troubles me.
Ask away, your majesty.
It's a big temple. The performance hall and treasure room are quite far from each other. Could the song really be heard all the way down to the treasure room?
That's a good point. He's right. It is a very big temple. Well, how about it, Mr. Payne? Your Majesty, have you forgotten? There are speakers in every room of the temple, including the treasure room.
Oh, that's right.
Speakers? For what purpose? Are you serious, Mr. Wright? They're to broadcast the sacred music of the performance hall throughout the temple. That's why the victim could hear the Song of Ceremony in the seance vision. It was the practice run going on in the performance hall, heard over the speakers.
Thank you for your explanation, Your Benevolence. That makes perfect sense, even to a feeble-minded old man like me.
Think nothing of it.
Now, if you wouldn't mind, could you please alter your insights for us?
Very well. Insight revised. The accused, what is it? The Song of Ceremony the victim heard was a practice run for the temple speakers. I think I'm getting the hang of this. If I point out an inconsistency, she'll update her insights accordingly. So if I keep pointing things out, maybe I can knock all of her insights out after all. I better find out her inconsistency, no matter how small. A bit hard to focus on the insights with the seance vision going on. I'll try using the pause to temporarily stop the vision. There, I paused the vision. I think I can use circle and square to jump different parts of the vision. I'll try moving the minima mark to the flashing red panel. The accused swung whatever he was holding down the victim's head. Okay, now that I know how to get around in seance visions, it's time to find inconsistencies between the insights and the vision. This is new still too. The Song of Ceremony the victim heard was a practice run for the temple's speakers. All the hallway shutters remain shut for today's dance of devotion. Shutter, that's, Let me look up what a hallway shutter is. I think I know what it is, but I just want to look up a picture of it. Hallway shutter. Okay. and pain. I think it's this one, but...
Objection!
No, okay, not this one. Yeah, this is wrong, okay. Okay, yeah, this is, gonna get a penalty here. Okay, let me get back to it then. What is contradictory here? Wait a second. Wait a second, it's the time. The practice run. We can use the time of death to see exactly when...
Objection!
What time was the dance? Okay. 3, Lily, I'm about to get executed right now. I'm about to get a death penalty. Okay. I can't seem to find any inconsistencies. Something's been at me. I think it has something to do with the sensation of pain. Although I shouldn't overlook the moment the victim was struck either. I think I'll take another look at the insights with those things in mind. Something to do with the sensation of pain. I think the answer is probably right in my face, and I'm probably not even seeing it. What is it here? It's something about pain. Victim's vision went dark. This is when he lost his life. Yeah, but he has blood on his hand too, that's the thing. to touch or smell. Okay, hang on. Wait, hang on.
Objection!
Damn, okay, I'm making mistakes here. This is hard, this first one, this is hard. I thought that he still smelled something even after he got knocked out, but...
Objection!
Damn, okay, I'm gonna have to save my game here because this first question is ridiculous.
Objection!
That was it? You're saying the victim's field of vision went dark right after he was struck, correct? Of course, as anyone with eyes can see. Well, pardon me, but I must disagree. What? Your benevolence, please take another look at the exact moment the victim felt pain. Oh. Everything goes black, and then only after that the victim feels pain. Inconceivable. This places the order of events at odds of what you say happened. Yeah, so I guess I was struggling a bit with that one, trying to figure it out, and I finally got it. It was that one. My word.
Oh, Kumka, your benevolence, what is the meaning of this?
I cannot be wrong. My insights are beyond fallacy.
If what the defense says is true, then this is a very grave matter indeed. Please forgive me, your benevolence, but I'm afraid this contradiction is something we simply can't ignore.
Now, let's not be too hasty, your majesty. I think I can clear this up.
You have something to add, Mr. Payne?
1,000 apologies. It seems the prosecution has failed to make one tiny thing clear. And that would be? On the day of the incident, there was a power outage, a blackout in one part of the temple. And as I recall, the crime scene was in that sector. The power outage must be why the victim's field of vision went dark. I apologize for neglecting to tell the court this detail. I'm afraid it slipped my mind. So this, he was probably holding that back for a specific reason. But here's the thing about this is the very first Ace Attorney case ever was Phoenix vs. Payne, and the very first murder case also had a blackout. So I wonder if that's like an Easter egg to this. Or rather, you knew all along and are only letting it slip now that it's convenient, Payne. The power outage knocked out both the lights and the speakers. Wait! So then if it knocked out the speakers, then how would he hear the song? Oh, there was a blackout there, was there? Well, now, that explains everything, does it not? No, it doesn't.
What do you mean, your benevolence? Please share your thoughts with us, if you would.
The blackout occurred when the accused and the victim were faced with one another. Fearing the victim would flee under the cover of darkness, the accused swiftly brought his weapon down on the victim's head.
I see. That makes perfect sense, your benevolence.
So the victim was struck after the lights went out. The depth of your insight is awe-inspiring, your benevolence. Give her a hand, everyone. Hey, I want to live long and prosper too. Enough applause. You flatter me.
Now, your benevolence, in light of this new information.
Yes, of course, I will alter my insight. I already know the contradiction here. Now I got it, I see it here. The blackout began. So much for my inconsistency. At least I was able to draw out some new info. When the new info comes, chance to find new inconsistencies. Now to compare the insights with the vision again and to see what else I can dig up. I'm gonna save here just to, make sure I don't mess this up, but it's gonna be the song, because he heard the song when the speakers were out, remember that? So, this.
Objection!
Yes, I finally found it. This is the gaping hole I've been looking for. I got it. This one I got right away. I figured it out quickly. Your benevolence, as impressive as your spirit communion power is, it's not infallible. You never know when to stop talking, do you? I hope you realize your words are an insult to all adherents of Kurrainism.
Defense, watch what you say. If you don't mind that tongue of yours, you won't have one left to mind.
It's certainly not my intention to insult spirit mediums. But maybe I'm not the one who needs to learn when to stop talking. What malarkey? I believe you said a few moments ago that the victim could hear the song of ceremony thanks to the temple speakers. But then, how do you explain how the victim could still hear the song of ceremony even after the power went out? Oh, this contradiction of facts can only mean that the song of ceremony Mr. Rahl heard was not coming from the speakers. What? Impossible.
What are you saying? That the song he heard was coming directly from the performance hall?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's the only possible explanation.
But the scene of the crime was nowhere near the performance hall.
Right. The song couldn't make it all the way to the treasure room. Not unless... You mean to say... Yes, the treasure room was not the actual scene of the crime. It must have been somewhere else. Somewhere close to the performance hall. What?
You can't be serious.
There is a glaring contradiction in the claims of her benevolence and the prosecution. Therefore, the defense insists that this case be thoroughly re-examined. What? No.
This is completely unprecedented. An inconsistency in her benevolence's insights. Unbelievable.
Heed not his forked tongue, your majesty. These are but the claims of a corrupt lawyer, a feeble ruse from a feeble mind.
But the contradiction revealed by the defense, it's undeniable. We can't just turn a blind eye to it.
But the defense assertion is in the end meaningless. Even if the location of the murder turned out to be different, it doesn't change what we've seen at the moment of the murder. Indeed, the accused is standing right there in front of the victim. Furthermore, the murder weapon remains raised above his head. My insights still stand. We don't see the murder weapon, actually. I hate to admit it, she's right. The seance vision, it still makes the situation looks really, the seance vision still makes the situation look really grim for Ahlbi. I doubt even the defense can dream up an explanation as to why. The accused had his hands up over his head. Well, this defense dares to dream of making it out of this nightmare alive. You what? You still insist on trying to tear down my insights, do you? You better be prepared to back up your claim. Remember what will happen to that tongue of yours if we find you are just wagging it. Of course, I can back up my claim just as soon as I think of something.
You appear to be fully prepared, defense. As the embodiment of this court, I give you permission to try and prove your claim. As long as you're willing to stake your life on it.
I concur, your majesty. Prepare the tongue shears. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Yes, let's have the bailiff fetch them.
I think I saw a suitable pair in the basement. Chop, chop.
Stop, stop. I hear that lying lawyers have several tongues to spare. I'm sure he won't miss one. Yikes, these people are actually serious. I'm rather attached to my tongue. Think, Phoenix, think. Other than to raise a weapon, why would Ahlbi have held his hands up like that? Aha, so that's why. The reason the defendant had his hands up over his head can be explained by something in the crime photo. What explains why Ahlbi had his hands raised above his head? The gun. I'm gonna risk it on it's the gun.
Take that!
As in the seance vision, I witnessed the defendant raise both of his hands over his head yesterday.
You did? Where did you see such a thing?
When the police had their guns trained on him as they made their arrest.
Oh, are you saying...
The victim was a security guard, and an armed one at that. The defense proposes that the victim had pointed his firearm at Ahlbi. And that's why the defendant's hands were raised in the air. Polgunka! Who would have thought that seance vision could be interpreted that way? This is not possible. It can't be. Not bad for a total knockout. How dare that lawyer devil go against her benevolence? He's no better than that traitorous snake, Durkay. Traitorous snake, Durkay? Who's that? No, I can't believe it. A contradiction in one of my insights. There has to be some kind of mistake. I won't accept it. That's right, your benevolence, and I won't accept it either. It goes against all we hold sacred. Throw him in jail immediately for less majesty. What? Yeah, you said it. Throw him in jail. Yes, make him pay for the way he disrespected her benevolence. Oh, these people are definitely not my fans right now. That's right, exterminate him.
Peace! Give me peace! I said peace! Now everyone, please, calm down.
Is he? Your Majesty, please, again, this black-hearted attorney, assign this black-hearted attorney a suitable punishment.
No, I can't charge him with lessee majesty.
What? What? Why not, your Majesty?
He was simply following the proper procedure for defending the accused. There's nothing unlawful about that.
But your Majesty, don't you want to wrap this trial up quickly? Why not just give your verdict? Then you can go home and make it up to your wife.
We can't end the trial now. Not when we just learned new information about the case.
Finally, the judge has some common sense. What? Your Majesty, not you two. You would honestly entertain the idea that my insight contains a contradiction.
Truly, it is shocking. In the 20+ years since the DC Act went into effect, such a thing has never occurred.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be a lawyer, that's why.
To be honest, I didn't want to believe it either. But with his life on the line, the defense pointed out an inconsistency, and it's our duty to scrutinize it to the satisfaction of the law.
You dare go against the royal priestesses. You non-believer.
No, my faith is as strong as ever. But I have a duty to make a fair ruling in this trial. If you insist on interfering with that process, your benevolence, I'm afraid I must request your removal from this courtroom, royal priestesses or not.
Oh, good. What? What? I'll have you know.
Your benevolence. Please acquiesce in this, your benevolence.
If looks could kill. I won't forget this offense, barbed head. I do not admit defeat. I won't.
Bailiff, please see her benevolence out.
You Minima will face due retribution in the Twilight Realm. The demons there they'll plug the barbs right off your stupid head. I hope your suffering will be super duper painful. And I hope they throw you into a lake of burning fire, yeah, and then... I guess he's still just a teenager after all.
Now then, the defense. Mr. Light, was it?
That's right, your Majesty. Phoenix Wright.
Of course, Mr. Wright. My apologies. Well, now that we have this newly uncovered fact, I suggest we proceed with arguments.
Thank you, your Majesty.
Yes, but do not misunderstand me. This doesn't mean I trust you completely. I'll be keeping a close eye on you, so don't even think about lying to this court.
I understand, your Majesty. Ooh, maybe now we can finally run a real trial. Argument, your Majesty. Very well, I accept your challenge. Huh? What's with him? Oh, the look on your face, Mr. Wright. It's just too hilarious.
What's so funny, Mr. Payne?
The defense still doesn't get it. The truth he unearthed is going to bury him and his case instead. What do you mean by that, prosecutor? I told you, it's chief prosecutor. Yes, because that's the same thing to focus on right now. The defense is digging its own grave. Consider this, your Majesty. Why would the victim, a security guard, point a gun at the accused?
Oh,
Indeed. Because the accused was about to commit a theft. It's the only logical explanation. What? That does sound pretty logical, actually. It doesn't help the accused's situation at all. If anything, it makes him look even more guilty.
yes, I have to agree.
Allow me to spell out this truth the defense didn't bother to think through. Mr. Rawl came across the accused just as he was trying to steal a treasure. The guard pointed his gun at the accused, and just when the power went out, the accused murdered the victim and hid his body in the treasure room. A hand truck for moving heavy treasure around is stored in the treasure room. The accused could have easily moved the body with that. And after all that hard work to knock down those insights, backed into an old familiar corner once more.
Mr. Wright, give a rebuttal.
I'm drawing total blank here. I hope you're ready to climb that scaffold.
I asked you a question, defense.
I've got nothing. I can't think of anything grounds for an objection. The only thing to do at this point is to ask the defendant himself what happened. But I don't know if Ahlbi will cooperate with me or not. Ahlbi. Will you tell us what really happened? You don't have to say anything, accused. Fall for his evil trap and you only dirty your own soul. Ahlbi, you have to tell me the truth. I can't help you unless you do. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. Why? Why won't he trust me? Is this it? Is this the end? For both of us? Maya, I'm sorry. I never met a real lawyer before. Everybody always told me they're bad. Bad people who help dirty criminals go free. I never thought a lawyer would actually try to help me. Would actually believe in me. Would risk his own life for me. I never would have even imagined it. Ahlbi. So, that's why I lied, to try and save myself. But I'm not going to lie anymore. If you believe in me enough to put your life on the line, then I'm going to believe in you too. What? Allow me to explain. Now we're talking. Time to finally get to the bottom of things. To be honest, I went to the treasure room lots of times to look at the treasure box.
Even though the temple told you you weren't allowed to go anywhere near it.
Yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Rawl even saw me once and scolded me. But that box is so beautiful. The way it glows in the dark. I couldn't help myself. Wait, it glows in the dark. That's right, it's covered in this special mineral called fluorentite that makes it glow. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's really a shame they don't put it on display for the public. Can you imagine how many people would go on night tours of the temple if they did? If only he applied such passion to telling me the truth earlier. It was forced open. Its contrast stone glows in the dark. On the day of the incident, I was on my way to the treasure room when I ran to Mr. Rawl on the great stairs.
So those were not the treasure room stairs in this seance vision.
No, they were the great stairs that connect to the hallway. Makes sense. The visions weren't clear enough to show us what at the top of the stairs. Diagram depicting the temple treasure room area. All of a sudden, Mr. Rawl drew his gun and threatened me with it. I quickly put my hands up. Mr. Rawl, he acted so scary. For some reason, he had his scarf over his mouth. I couldn't read his expression at all. It's because it wasn't Mr. Rawl. Mr. Rawl was already dead. Just then, the power went out. So I took that chance to hightail it out of there. I ran for my life, even now when I try to think back on it. All I can remember are the gun and the piercing look in Mr. Rawl's eyes. That must have been when I dropped the notice scroll. Which means someone else brought it to the treasure room along with Mr. Rawl's body. Did Mr. Rawl say anything to you when you ran into him on the stairs? What is it, Ahlbi? I have no idea why, but he asked me a strange question. Did you steal it? He said. What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't say all this before. I didn't think anybody would believe me. Hehehehe. A grand speech. One that confirmed my suspicions that you were the thief. I feel really bad for Ahlbi. It's possible the victim simply misread the situation. Where there's smoke, there's fire, as they say. The victim must have had good reason to be suspicious of the accused. Why does every new piece of information have to seem so incriminating? Shadu, what do I do, Shadu? And what better reason to suspect the boy than seeing the treasure box in his hands? In the course of his rounds, the victim must have noticed that the treasure had been stolen. And then, just after that, he ran to the accused, Ahlbi, Urgade. No, that's not what happened. Therefore, the one who stole the treasure and killed the victim can be none other than the accused. Is that a dog? What now? Hey, Shadu, down boy.
Well, what do we have here?
I'm sorry about this. This is my dog, Shadu.
You nearly gave me a heart attack.
That's what was making his bag move. Can't you, quiet that yappy mutt down? Shadu says that Mr. Rawl made a mistake. You can understand him. Don't tell me this is a surprise witness for the defense.
I beg your pardon? You're not thinking of cross-examining an animal, are you?
Of course not, Your Majesty. Not this time, anyway. So he's cross-examined a parrot before.
Phew. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I thought I'd have to reassess my assessment of your sanity for a second there.
I think I'd better reassess my strategy. And fast. I have to somehow show that somebody else could have struck the victim, or were sunk. While it's true that the defendant was standing in front of the victim when he died, it doesn't mean somebody else couldn't have struck the victim at that time. If you're going to go that far, then I hope this means
that you have another angle of approach ready.
Exactly. I mean, who but the accused standing front and center could have done it? Unless you can back up your claim, it's nothing more than conjecture. Okay, come on, Phoenix. I know I can think of something convincing. Where else could the victim have been struck from? Behind him. Here. The person could have been hiding in the storeroom when he went in the treasure room. I'm gonna say right here.
Take that!
With the defendant standing in front of the victim, isn't it possible the victim could have been struck from behind?
From behind, you say? I see. Yes, I suppose it's not outside the realm of possibility.
Good, now at least I have some breathing room.
But who do you suppose it could have been?
Oh, the true culprit, naturally. The one who actually committed the theft and murder.
The true culprit. And I suppose you have a true timeline of events to go along with that.
I should have known I'd have to explain everything. Alright, we assume the true culprit struck the victim from behind, and that means they were hiding in a storeroom. After going to the treasure room and stealing the treasure, the true culprit tried to escape. But then Mr. Rawl appeared, making his rounds. I imagine the culprit then quickly hid in the storeroom at the other end of the hallway. Yup, I was right. You're grasping at straws, Mr. Wright. Admit it, you have nothing but baseless conjecture. I'm going to look for something to base it on right now. Ahlbi, when you ran into Mr. Rawl in the hallway, was there anyone around the storeroom area? I don't know. There might have been somebody there, but I couldn't see. I was only halfway down the stairs, so I couldn't see the ends of that hallway. You see. Swing and a miss. Oh, Shadu says that someone was there. You see. Thank you for that. Too bad his testimony is inadmissible. You think this is a joke? Maybe the defendant didn't happen to see this other person. But that doesn't mean the true culprit couldn't have been there in the hallway. Your desperate floundering is getting hard to watch. But I will enjoy watching you sink. What are you talking about? Unfortunately for you, only the accused and the victim were there in that hallway at the time of the incident. How can you continue to make that assertion? Because there was a witness, a very reliable eyewitness, and the eyewitness is probably the killer. What? Your Majesty, the prosecution would like to call its witness to the stand.
Calling an eyewitness to the stand, It's been decades since that happened.
And unlike the defense's witness, you can rest assured that there are no pets involved. That was a low blow. Yeah, he doesn't like pain.
Very well, I'll allow it. And now, for something we've not heard in quite some time. Bring the witness to the stand.
It's the killer, I remember that. Yep. That's his legs, too, I remember that, too. It's the killer. That is the killer. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Pesselbun and andistan'dhin
Is the name. I'm like Temple's head monk. Can you dig? A hippie?
Oh, if it isn't the instructor and andistan'dhin, you're the eyewitness.
Instructor. Not only is Mr. Andistan'dhin Temple's head monk, but he's also a renowned Damalan expert. Sorry to have to ask. What's a Damalan? Check it. Here she is, my sweet surrender. My one and only Groovy, right? But you've heard our salty rounds once before, brother. When dragon and tiger battle. That's the song from the Dance of Devotion. Right on, brother. The Song of Ceremony. Playing this tune together is a precious gig. For me and my girl, you dig? The Song of Ceremony. The song I was playing at the time of the murder. Oh, Holy Mother. I wonder if he was playing that song. Oh, I know how he did it. He was probably playing the song there. So the guy in the mask probably was not him. But he knew what the vision would show. He's manipulating it. Oh, Holy Mother. May the righteous sounds of my Dalaman serve as my offering to you.
Wonderful, a great performance as always.
This is my thing, you know, my bag. I make instruments speak, baby. By the by, Magistrate Pops. No Dalaman class today.
No, I'm afraid this trial has gone into overtime. Thanks to the lawyer over there.
The class the judge wanted to attend was a Dalaman lesson. Well, you know what they say, baby. Never trust a lawyer, man. But transgressors against the Holy Mother have to be brought to justice. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Andistan'dhin, as a treasure's keeper. You must have been shocked to learn it had been stolen. Treasure's keeper, so he's familiar with the layout of the building. Yeah, man. That was not cool. Keeping the treasure safe is one of your duties, Mr. Andistan'dhin. That's right, brother. This here is the one and only treasure box key. And I keep it on me at all times, can you dig? But the sneaky thief went and cracked open that sucker anyway. Total bummer, man. That's the key to the treasure box, is it? You know it, baby. It's called a Magatama key, and it's a historical artifact to boot. It's been passed down from head monk to head monk at Temple. The Magatama key, huh? The sole key for opening the treasure box. Andistan'dhin keeps it on his person at all times. And now someone's jacked the treasure. On my watch. It's a real buzzkill, man. How am I ever gonna face Her Holiness again? Oh, Holy Mother. Please find it in your infinite mercy to forgive me. Please guide this lost and unhumble lamb. Why do I always get the far out ones? Mr. Andistan'dhin, you witnessed the accused and the victim heading to the treasure room.
You know it, baby. Best believe I scoped that tiny transgressor.
Would you please give this court your testimony regarding what you saw? To bring justice against the transgressor, man. Yes, of course, I'll do it all I can. In the name of Her Holiness, I vow to sing, not the truth. I swear to blight, hit me. So this is the killer, this guy. What I saw, baby. After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion. Don't you know my chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room? Hey. Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near. Ahlbi was the only one. Ahlbi was the only one. Before the blackout, one other than Rahl. Only Ahlbi to the treasure room did stroll.
Tell me I was hallucinating just now.
Like, can you believe Mr. Rahl bit the big one after that? Harsh, man. I share your sentiments. You were the one who discovered the victim's body, weren't you, Mr. Andistan'dhin? What? You found the body as well? He really is a key witness, then. And he could have tampered with the crime scene.
That's right, brother.
After the blackout, I went to reset the breaker and give power back to the people. The circuit box is near my chamber, so I'm always the man for the job, you feel me? The breakers are on the first floor hallway, in front of the storeroom. On the way, I get a whiff of something funky. Blood, man. Really harshed my mellow. I knew something wasn't kosher, so I swung by the treasure room to see what's what. And it was like, whoa, man, there was poor Mr. Rahl, dead as a doornail. Depicting the temple treasure room area. Maps been updated. In the interval period between the end of the dance of devotion and the blackout, the only ones who went to the scene of the crime were the victim and the accused. So you see, Mr. Andistan'dhin's unassailable account is what led to the accused's arrest. Hold it! Isn't it possible the murder took place before the end of the dance of devotion? Hehehehe, I'm afraid it's not possible. The victim was in the performance hall until the very end of the dance. He was. Would you like some proof? How's this? A photo of the morning dance of devotion taken by a tourist. My, what graceful dancing. Wait a second. Is that Rahl? Rahl is right there too. Look, Rahl is right there. Hang on a second, hang on.
I can almost hear the sound of Mr. Andistan'dhin's Damalun now.
Hain's right. There's Mr. Rahl on duty. Never underestimate the incredible pain. Urgh. So in addition to Raifa's insights, he had backup evidence lined up too, huh? Picture of the stage shows Rahl on guard duty in the audience. As head monk, my monks in training are like my own kids, like family. Can you dig it? I should have taught Ahlbi a better man. Before Her Holiness, the Holy Mother. Oh, Ahlbi, confess your sins, my young brother. head monk andistan'dhin. I didn't kill Mr. Rahl. So I don't have anything to confess to the Holy Mother. What? Bogus, little man. Your faith is weak like a wet paper bag. Are you feeling me? Spare the rod, hey baby. Spoil the child, not maybe. Her Holiness is magnanimous, son. If you confess your guilt, she'll forgive you in the Twilight Realm. I don't suppose she could forgive him in this realm first.
Defense, please begin your cross-examination.
Okay, let's bring this scumbag down. What I saw, baby. After the morning dance devotion to go back to my chambers, I got the notion. I have a question. Lay it on me, man.
How dare you interrupt the performance of the great Ahlbi andistan'dhin? I was really enjoying that.
Sorry, but, you know, there's something about that name I can't put my finger on.
What's so funny about Ahlbi andistan'dhin? Ahlbi andistan'dhin?
You had a question for me, brother? You were playing something during the dance of devotion, weren't you? You know it, baby. I was playing my beautiful girl right here, this Milan. I'm offering to Her Holiness I play the music, and the singers sing the song of ceremony.
Mr. Andistan'dhin's playing is the best in the kingdom. It must please Her Holiness greatly. Now then, could you continue your testimony, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
For the Holy Mother, I keep on trucking. This Milan still needs some plucking. Don't you know my chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room? Hey, hey.
Hold it!
Could you please point out one more time where your chamber is located? Yeah, man, no sweat. My chamber's on the way from the performance hall to the treasure room. So anyone going to the treasure room would have to pass by Andistan'dhin's chamber. Give Pestlebun a chance. Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near.
Hold it!
Even from inside your chamber, you can still hear what's going on outside. Temple is a groovy old building built from the Mother Nature's finest. You can hear a pin drop through the wooden walls, you dig? An old building like that, I guess the walls must be pretty thin. And that's how Mr. Andistan'dhin could know the culprit's movements. It's all thanks to the Holy Mother's divine protection. Right on, my man. I dedicate this testimony to Her Holiness. The fact that this guy can, commit a murder and then, lie about his religion to try to, accuse somebody else is disgusting. Ahlbi was the only one. Ahlbi was the only one. How could you tell it was Ahlbi just from the sound of some footsteps? Ahlbi is practically a family man. The smooth groove of his shoes are easy to pick out. No. No, this would not fly in court. Is like you couldn't say, oh, I've heard somebody's footsteps before. No. This would not, no. You unless you actually physically see them, you can't say I heard them unless you hear their voice. Voice is the only thing that you can really say I heard. But how do you know he went to the treasure room? Didn't you think it was possible he went to the storeroom at the other end of the hall? No way, man. I saw him with my own 2 eyes. You saw him? In the treasure room. This you can believe. My peepers, peep the sneaky Ahlbi. And tell us where. Where it is you stood. Where you saw the accused, if you would. When I heard the footsteps, I looked out the window. From From my window, I can see the window of the first floor hallway across the courtyard, you dig? And through that window, I saw Ahlbi walking into the treasure room. Should I have him add this statement to his testimony? Add it to the testimony. Could you please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Andistan'dhin? You got it, brother. Through the window, I did spy little Ahlbi with my own eye. Before the blackout, one other than Rahl, only Ahlbi to the treasure room did stroll. How can you be so sure that nobody else was there? Whoa, man. You lawyers are uptight as they say. Isn't it possible that someone else could have snuck past? The answer, my friend, is squeaky wooden floorboards, baby. They make such a racket, not even the quietest cat could sneak by me, you dig?
Yes, that makes sense. And all of that just now was simply more of the attorney's unfounded suspicions, I see.
That's the truth, baby. It's all that I sing. The truth is all, it's everything.
Words of wisdom, words of truth. Baby to forsooth, phone move.
What? Much thanks to Mr. Andistan'dhin. Let's bring an end to defense grandstanding. You're not stopping me. Until my client goes free. So Phoenix is getting going along with the singing too. Wait a minute. Why am I singing? Right on. Even the lawyer's joining in, baby. Everybody's starting to feel the groovy vibe of my far-out rhythm. I refuse to let him run this show. I think I found the flaw I've been looking for. Andistan'dhin was in his chamber on the second floor. But there was something that definitely should have been blocking his view. Wait, I know what it is. He couldn't have seen him because of the shutters. The shutters, right. The shutters, due to the growing number of thefts around the temple, we'll be tightening security throughout. Therefore, all the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance devotion. It's this.
Objection!
There's something off about that, Mr. Andistan'dhin. Andistan'dhin. His name might be a reference to him wasting time, Andistan'dhin. My music is off. I'm sorry you feel that way, man. Maybe this vibe ain't topping the charts where you're from. What's your poison? Orchestra, jazz, soul? There's nothing wrong with my ears, witness, but something not quite right with your eyes. Oh. Oh. Mr. Andistan'dhin, you've been lying to this court. Now, why would I lie? I got nothing to hide. Truth and truth alone is all I sing. Lying, y'all. Now, lying ain't my thing. I contend otherwise. Do you recognize this object, Mr. Andistan'dhin? It's a temple notice, man. What of it? In this notice, the following instruction to the temple monks is written. All of the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance-off devotion. What you talking about, Phoenix? I'm talking about the fact that from your chamber, you couldn't have seen anyone going into the treasure room through those shutters. Ah. Looks like you didn't get the memo. No way. I don't believe it, man. Now he's sweating. If you don't believe it, why don't you read the notice for yourself? Let's see. Something, something, will, something, for something, something. Is that your idea of reading? I'm not so hot at reading Kurrainese, man. I usually get one of the other monks to read stuff for me, you know? Doesn't that make your duties as head monk a little difficult? Hey, cut me some slack, man. I only moved to this country 6 months ago. That's quite recent, isn't it? So, how did someone who's only been here 6 months become head monk of a temple? That is a really good point. How little you understand. Religious faith can't be measured in months or years. I've only been an adherent of Courrainism for 3 months myself. The Holy Mother's teaching really spoke to me, prompting me to stay in this country. Or was it the fact that there are no lawyers here that spoke to you? That's the reason. Mr. Payne, I know how you feel, my man. Her Holiness teaching spoke to me too. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Brother Dumb and, Brother Dumber. Well, I know why Payne suddenly became a believer in Courrainism. Could andistan'dhin have had an ulterior motive for becoming a believer too? Yeah, to steal it. Mr. andistan'dhin, were you really in your chamber as you claim? What? Hey, be chill, brother. Weren't you instead somewhere else? Mr. Wright, what kind of nonsense are you spouting now? According to Mr. andistan'dhin's testimony, he saw Ahlbi with his own eyes. Therefore, is it really nonsense to suggest he could have seen Ahlbi from somewhere else? Well?
You have a theory, defense. Do you know where Mr. andistan'dhin was, if not in his chamber?
If he wasn't in his room, then... If Ahlbi had gone down to the hallway, towards the treasure room, there are only a few places he could have seen Ahlbi from. I do have a theory, Your Majesty. Let's say the witness really did see Ahlbi going towards the treasure room. What then? The defense proposes this is the only place he could have seen, he could have been to see Ahlbi going, down the hall. Save here. Had to have been here, really. This is the only place he could have seen him.
Take that!
There! But you just suggested earlier that that's where the true culprit might have been.
True, but no matter how I look at it, this is the only place andistan'dhin could have been.
Mr. Foreign Lawyer, don't tell me. Are you accusing Mr. andistan'dhin of being the true culprit in this case?
Yeah, accuse. Yes, Your Honor, Your Majesty. I contend there's a strong possibility his witness is the murderer. How dare you be so disrespectful? First, you criticize her benevolence, insights. Now you accuse the head monk of murder?
Objection!
This is the only place the witness could have been. If he was there, he could have struck the victim down from behind and moved his body to the treasure room. That's nothing but groundless conjecture. And there's one more thing. Do you remember what was said in the opening argument?
The opening argument?
During that argument, it was suggested that Ahlbi used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure. That's right, and what of it? Well, why don't we try this twist on for size? The thief used his position as head monk of the temple to get a hold of the treasure. What?
What?
You joshing me, man. And man, the key to the treasure box has been passed down from head monk to head monk. What better position to be in if you want to steal a treasure?
You can't possibly be serious.
Does this mean you're claiming that Mr. Andistan'dhin's oath of faith is nothing but a lie designed to get him closer to the treasure?
Yup. The witness hasn't been truthful in his testimony to this court. So clearly he isn't above lying. Didn't you swear to the Holy Mother that not but the truth would you bring? In light of that, I don't think it's unfair to call your faith into question.
Objection!
This is ridiculous. Are there no limits to what this lawyer will say? I mean, lie is such a strong word. Maybe it was just a mistake.
Enough with the nervous wreck routine, prosecutor. You're just embarrassing yourself, man. What?
What was that, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
Lawyer, man. You really are the lowest of the low. You've gone and said something I can't forgive. You called my belief into question, my faith in the Holy Mother. And nobody gets away with that. The hell?
What on earth, that music? It's making my ears bleed.
This is the music of my soul. Death to the lawyer. I'm the Twilight Messenger. Can't you tell? Gonna take this lying lawyer straight to hell. He's dripping with lies, running with Philistines. I'm gonna send that lawyer to the guillotines. And now for something completely different. That plinky plunky music just wouldn't let me express my rage. Your rage, huh? Isn't the real source of your anger having your lie exposed? You just don't get it. If I lied, it's because you drove me to it. All sniffing around suspicious and throwing out false accusations. Sorry, but as a lawyer, I'm afraid that's my job. Yeah, well, lawyers are crap. Keep making noise, and I'll have to use my partner here on you. I'm the one making noise. Hey, so you want to know the truth, huh? Think you can handle the truth, do ya? Fine. Let's see you try. Feel the heat of my brutal death beat. Savage, right? Sweating bullets, ain't ya? The screams of my soul are gonna make a mosh pit out of this peanut gallery. Did he really just win the court over with that performance? Yo, geezer, I got something to testify. Get ready for the howling of my soul. I call this chart topper soul-screeching truth. Soul-screaming truth. The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom, my way I did wend. Deaf truth is what you dread. Hear me shred. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Ahlbi creep to the treasure room. And trailing from behind, howling on the scent, I saw Pack Thrall after Ahlbi he went. Me and my girl innocent and sweet back by the storeroom, can't be beat. Then out went the power ticket to mine, midnight, blacker than blackest black, robbing all sight.
Yeah, baby, let that soul metal flow.
What is that music? I've never heard anything like it. And it's so fast, it's making my head spin.
This is Damolan Metal. Hey, yo, geezer, how are those ears ringing? I don't know much about music, but I've got chills and they're multiplying. Hey, you scared, lawyer man? Run away, fast as you can. What a wonderful rhythm. The perfect accompaniment for further deliberations. Now, Mr. andistan'dhin, what did you do, did you go to the music storeroom for? Hey, I went to put my Damolan away. She's my precious partner. Gotta give her a good rest after playing in the right. But then why did you lie before? Because you'd send me to hell. Huh? We all know about lawyers and their lying, lawyerly ways. Am I right, people? If I admitted I went to the storeroom, he'd have drummed up a false charge on me. I didn't want to get sent to hell. What'd you say? He's right, that so would have happened. Now I see why the Defense Culpability Act was passed. You feel me, Kurrain? Yeah, you said it. Isn't it too much to ask for a low-key trial? Now are you punks ready to rock or what? I can't hear you, I said. You ready to teach this lying lawyer how we do things around here? Yeah! Alright, then I'm gonna lay it on you one more time. The screaming truth of my soul. The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom, my way I did wend.
Hold it!
You say you went to music storeroom. But how do we know you didn't go to the treasure room to steal the treasure instead? And on what grounds would you base that accusation? Got anything to show for it? He's right. I don't really have any proof. And yet... Well, you can't prove that you didn't go to that treasure room either. You stole the treasure and were ready to make your getaway when you saw Mr. Rawl. So you panicked and ran to the music storeroom, isn't that right? Why do I feel like I'm being stabbed by icy stares from every direction? This silence is your answer, lawyer man. This audience knows the score. Just what we needed. A moment of silence to bid this lawyer's baseless claim goodbye. Why do they have to hate lawyers so much in this country? I said it before and I'll say it again, lawyer man. After priestess's dance, I went to the music storeroom. Deaf truth is what you dread. Hear me shred.
Hold it!
What exactly do you mean by deaf truth? It's the blade of truth that's gonna send your lawyer soul to hell. A sea of blood will be the last thing you ever see. I'm not sure I want to get what he's saying. I don't expect a bobblehead like you to understand. Either you get it, or you don't. Simple as that. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Ahlbi creep to the treasure room.
Hold it!
How did Ahlbi appear at the time? Come to think of it, he was glancing around all shifty-like. You could tell he was up to no good. Shady, I tell you. What's saying about people who live in glass houses? What's that saying about saying people live in glass houses? Well, he was about to steal a treasure, so it only stands to reason he'd look furtive.
Objection!
The defendant admitted he was sneaking in to see the treasure box. Wouldn't that be why he was looking around? What's that, people? Only the Holy Mother knows the truth, you see. Wrong! Hesselbun knows the score, baby. From my lips to our Holy Mother's ears. An artist only sings what he saw there. In other words, my reasoning isn't good enough for a good god boy here. And what did you see next, Mr. andistan'dhin? And trailing from behind, hound on scent, I saw Pat Raw. After Ahlbi he went.
Hold it!
Something tells me this is going to be a spectacular waste of time, bud. What do you mean by hound on the scent? What? You don't get it? It's always the same, y'all. Lyrics question without mercy. The more famous the song, the greater the controversy. It wasn't your lyrical sense I was questioning. I say hound the scent like a hunting dog, because you know Raw was a guard, and... Uh-oh. Here we go. The inspiration came to me suddenly, like a flash, and... Oh, that's okay. You don't have to explain your lyrics anymore. Hey, you're the one who asked. I knew I shouldn't have asked.
Mr. andistan'dhin, you're still in the stand, so please stick to your testimony. You can explain your lyrics to me later in Download class.
Fine, have it your way, geezer. The show must go on, slash and thrash. Me and my girl, innocent and sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat.
Hold it!
What exactly were you doing in the music storeroom? There, get the picture? Picture? What picture?
Mr. andistan'dhin is requesting that you not ask him the same thing over and over.
Hey geezer, you got it in one, take a bow, baby. How the heck did he understand that? What was I doing in the music storeroom, you ask? I have already told you. I was taking care of my partner in crime, getting ready to put her away. But see, would you believe it? Then out went the power, ticket to midnight. Blacker than blackest black, robbing all sight.
Hold it!
Where were you when the power outage occurred? Like I said, I was in the music storeroom. My girl had been sounding a little off, so I had to get her back in tune. Isn't it true that you were actually in the hallway at that time? The hallway, you say? Why would I be in the hallway? You were waiting for Mr. Rawl to come back from his patrol of the treasure room. Now he discovered that treasure had been stolen, you were going to kill him. Lawyer man, just as always, so full of bull. Spewing, noxious lies, and pulling the wool. Filthy liar, through and through, and I ain't never ever gonna forgive you. Utter lies with no evidence. As always, his claims are just tenuous. Hey, nice, prosecutor. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Someone stop their jam session, please.
You've made your assertions clear, defense, but your argument is rather substantiated.
That's not good. Hehehe. What's so funny, Pestlebun andistan'dhin? Nevertheless, possibility is still there. You can't deny the witness could have killed the victim under cover of darkness. You're forgetting one very important thing. Huh? It seems you've forgotten that the outage happened by chance, not design.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. I did forget about that. It's not like the witness planted, the outage so he could take advantage of the darkness. And without darkness, it would have been hard to sneak up behind Mr. Rawl and kill him. But doesn't the thing glow?
You're right. Even I would notice someone coming up behind me. Well, defense, what do you have to say about that?
What can I say about that? Mr. Wright, your claim is complete without merit. Unless you want to argue that the witness somehow magically made the outage happen. Well, maybe not magically, but... Wait, that's it. I contend the witness could have made the power outage happen. with no magic necessary. What? The breakers.
You have a theory defense.
All you have to do is make use of something shown in this diagram. What did the witness use to make the power to tap the breaker?
Take that!
The witness was in the storeroom. The circuit box is on the storeroom end of the hallway. There's nothing really magical about turning off the breaker, wouldn't you say? Nice try, but that theory doesn't hold water, lawyer man. And why not? You're saying I turned the breaker off and then snuck up on Mr. Rawl and hit him. In a pitch black darkness with no source of light whatsoever. Is that what you're saying? That the thing glowed, that's how you can see. Ha 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 ha. With the lights off, that hallway is blacker than 100 midnights. You can't see the hand in front of your face. How could anybody commit murder like that? The glowing statue, the glowing container. Unless it was somebody standing right in front of the victim like the accused. I hate when he's right. But I can't just let this point stand. Well, maybe the victim was holding something that served as a guide.
A guide through the darkness.
Something that's more than a little vague, wouldn't you agree? You ain't gonna move this room with half that vague hunch like that, bro. You gotta hit him hard. Really make him feel it, you hear me? Just like my verse, baby, woo!
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand this witness's lyrics very well either. But in the trial, your arguments have to be clear and precise. Let's see some of that clarity and precision now, defense.
Uh-oh, what do I do?
Can you present us to something that could have served as a guide through the darkness?
I can. Yes, I can. Because there has to be something.
Alright, let's see what you have, defense. What could the victim have been holding that served as a guide throughout the darkness?
Glows in the dark treasure box.
Take that!
I believe the victim was holding the treasure box. Huh? Huh? Have you gone mad? Well, the box glows in the dark, so you could use it as a sort of beacon.
Well, I guess you're right.
But why in the world would the victim be holding the treasure box?
Oh, well,
Because your guess is as good as mine. What is this lawyer talking about? Nonsense and lies yet again. Is there no way to win them over?
defense! Are we going to be needing those tongue shears after all?
No, your majesty. Yeah, man, do it. Then we can jam out this lawyer's screams of pain. Ha ha ha. Better get those screams of agony out now, lawyer man. While you still have a tongue to scream with. I guess I better come up with a reason. No pressure or anything. As to why the victim was holding the treasure box. It can easily be explained as thus. Brain, don't fail me now. What reason could the victim possibly have to be holding that treasure box? The victim was holding the treasure box because he was... security guard. Well... definitely not the thief. I mean, there's no proof he was the thief. Because he was a security guard.
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Rawl removed the treasure from the treasure room in order to protect it.
What on earth are you talking about?
He must have known that the treasure would be stolen on that day. Maybe he'd received a warning from the culprit. And so, before the treasure could be stolen, Mr. Rawl decided to take it somewhere safe.
Oh my, how thrilling.
Objection!
Your Majesty, don't let the defense forked tongue deceive you. If the victim had even an inkling of a potential theft, surely he would have let the temple authorities know.
Oh, you're right.
He never mentioned a word of anything like that to me, and I'm the head monk. I'm suddenly not so confident about that answer.
Ooh, I just came dangerously close to having my soul sullied by this lawyer's lies.
But I'm not lying. Guess I better try again. What reason could the victim possibly have had for holding that treasure box? He was a devout believer? Because he was a devout believer. What's this now?
He was such a devout believer. He would have had upheld the rule forbidding anyone from even looking at the treasure.
That's right. Well, you certainly have a very good point there. That's why I say he's just making up a bunch of random nonsense as he goes along.
I can't say I disagree.
It's not nonsense, I have a proper theory. What reason could the victim possibly have had for holding that treasure box? The victim was he stealing it? They said that he was taking care of his siblings. Was he really trying to steal it? Really? It's an idea I just happened to stumble upon. But I think it just might be the answer. Were they working together and he betrayed him? And it would turn this whole trial upside down. I didn't think of it that he could be a thief, but...
Hello, defense. Are you still with us? Let's hear this easy explanation you promised.
Isn't it possible that it was because the victim himself was the thief?
The victim?
The thief? Ha 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 ha. What kind of bull are you spewing now? Your Majesty, the guy's off his rocker. If the victim was the thief, everything we've learned so far would all make sense. And it would give us a completely new way to interpret the victim's actions. After the morning dance of devotion, Mr. Rawl went to the treasure room. He grabbed the box that contained the treasure and started to take off of it. Then he ran to Ahlbi on the Great Stairs. That's why Mr. Rawl pulled his gun on Ahlbi. Then when the blackout occurred, Mr. Rawl was bludgeoned to death in the darkness. This explains why the victim would be holding the glowing treasure in the dark. And how it would have been possible for someone other than the accused to kill him. Do you have any idea what you're saying? You're unbelievable, lawyer man. I think you've lost it. Ha ha ha. That's the craziest thing I've heard. Rawl trying to roll the temple? That devout believer, that pious, Kurrainist.
I won't allow you to discharge the victim's departed soul of unfounded allegations. I hope you're prepared to back up your claim.
Of course, Your Majesty. Oh, really? In that case, can we assume you have proof? Uh-oh. Proof, huh? Do I have any proof? I can't back down now. Yes, I have proof. In my dreams. The proof that Mr. Rawl is the thief may have been left behind on a certain piece of evidence.
Very well. Let's see your evidence, and be ready to stand behind it.
Footprints, fingerprints. Take anything at this point. I need proof. Something that would have involved with the theft. And that might still have some trace evidence left on it.
What proof do you have that the victim might have been the thief?
I have to really think about this one. Proof that Rawl was the thief. The notice? Gotta really think this one through. Proof that he was the thief. Footprints and fingerprints. The treasure box. He will have his prints on it.
Take that!
The defense would like to examine the treasure box. There might be trace evidence on it that would show that the victim had held it.
Might. You better hope you turn up something more definitive than that, defense.
Yes, sir, your majesty.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the treasure box.
Yeah, it has to be the treasure box. See here.
There you are, defense. You're free to examine it.
If I don't find something now, my entire argument up to this point will be blown. Plus, there's that little matter of the old tongue shears. I have to find something. I just have to. Now, to make sure I remember how to do this. I can rotate the evidence with R. I can also use triangle and circle and zoom in to get a better look. And if I ever get to turned around, I can always use reset to return things to the initial stage. Better search every inch of this box carefully, and examine anything of interest in detail with X. Okay. So this is where the Founder's orb was, huh? I doubt there's any trace of the orb left here now. Although I don't really know anything about the orb, so who knows? The lid of the box was forced open. And while the victim was holding the box, the lid must have been closed. Try closing the lid, too. Hey! What? You son of a... You locked it. So? What's the big deal? Thought you can open it with that key you're wearing. Yeah, I can do that, no sweat. Why is he so panicked now? Why is there a bucket load dripping off you there? I think I'd like to open this box back up again. Could you lend me your Magatama key? Why is he so scared? Sure. Okay, let's see. Where's the keyhole?
Well, it's the Magatama key. So wouldn't it go in the hole above the Magatama mark?
Huh? It won't open. Would you look at that? The thief must have busted the lock when they forced the box open. It's because Rahl took the real key from him. Really? Because I'm not so sure about that. The murder weapon, not even the Magatama key can open it. Glows in the dark. In any case, I better take another good look. I have to find proof that the victim was holding this box. This is the lock. It was forced open. I don't really see anything else of note about it. This bloodstain. It shows the outline of a hand. Could this be what I've been looking for? Your Majesty, take a look at this. There's a bloodstain here that outlines the shape of a hand.
Really? Let me see that. Oh my, you're right.
Now I'm getting somewhere. I believe the bloodstain is an outline of the victim's hand as he was holding the box.
Oh, what?
Even as he was being struck, he held on tight to the precious treasure box. After all, he'd gone through a lot of trouble to steal it. The blood from his head was splattered across his hand and onto the box. Your Majesty, don't let yourself be taken in. It's just more of his lawyery deceit.
What do you mean?
Mr. Wright, where is your proof that the outline is that of the victim's hand? What? I should have seen this coming. Either show proof or prepare to meet the shears. Or you could save us all some time and butt your tongue out now and submit it instead. That I did not see coming.
Well, defense, how about it? Do you have any proof that the outline is of the victim's hand?
Where would the proof of something like that even be?
Please submit your evidence here at this time. What evidence shows the outline of the treasure box that of the victim's hand?
This? The picture?
Take that!
I've got it. This is the evidence that's going to save my beloved tongue. Mr. Payne, despite your claims about my forked tongue, it just so happens I have the proof you require. You do? It's right here in this crime photo.
It is. Where? Defense, please point it out.
What proves the bloodstain on the outline of the box of the victim's hand, you ask? Right here.
Take that!
Mr. Payne, take a good look at the victim's hand. See this? That's blood. What? If we place Mr. Rahl's hand inside the bloody outline, you think the blood in his hand would complete the splatter? Exactly. Here goes nothing. And if they do form one complete splatter, it would prove my theory correct.
Then the victim really was holding the box.
I'm willing to bet my life on it. The defense reasserts that the victim was the thief who stole the treasure box. Yeah, the music kicks in now. You can't be serious. I protest. There's no way that this would ever match up. I assert that it's patently impossible for... Ow! Talk about tongue karma. Sounds like he just bit his. What's the matter, Mr. Payne? Did your forked tongue get tangled up in there? Or were you trying to submit your own tongue to the court? Way you!
I can hardly believe it. Apparently, not everything out of the defense's mouth is a bluff.
Of course not, Your Majesty. This tongue doesn't lie. And I'd like to continue to use my tongue in the future too, if you wouldn't mind. He never has to know it really was a bluff. No, not Mr. Rahl. I can't believe it. I'm sorry, Ahlbi. I know it's upsetting news. He must have needed the money badly, probably to support his family. After all, he even gave up his dream of becoming a monk to help them. Oh, so that thing Mr. Rahl would say to me... Ahlbi, you train hard and make sure you become a monk one day. Don't end up like me, he'd say. Yeah. He was probably warning you not to end up a thief. Mr. Rawl.
Objection!
Now wait just 1 minute. If the victim was the thief, and he was holding the treasure box, then that means Mr. Rawl was holding the murder weapon when he was killed.
Oh, that's a very good point.
I was about to actually bring that up.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
Objection!
If the victim was holding the treasure box, it couldn't have been the murder weapon. Which means the real murder weapon must have been something else. You know what it is? I know what the murder weapon is. It's the guitar. It's the guitar.
The real murder weapon was something.
Was something else? The blood was thought to have gotten on the box when the box was just a weapon. But it turns out that wasn't the case. The blood splattered onto the treasure box the victim was holding. When he was struck with the real weapon, that's what really happened. Isn't that right, Mr. Andistan'dhin? Are you insinuating I'm the one who used this real weapon? Are you saying I'm wrong in my, Andistan'dhin? Ha 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 ha. You got me riled up, lawyer man. I feel a song coming on. Looking for a weapon that just don't exist. Pathetic lawyer man. Drop into the abyss. Despicable lawyer man. Yo, you make me sick. You could disappear just like a magic trick. Worthless lawyer man done in by a weapon. For you miserable wretch, held of me, beckon. Yeah.
I know I don't need to remind you, defense, that your life is on the line.
I know, your majesty.
Yet you're prepared to risk it on the mere idea of a real murder weapon.
Death to the lawyer. Death to you. You're about to get the death penalty in a moment. This is it, the moment of truth. I can't back down, not now. Yes, your majesty, I am. I'm confident the real murder weapon does indeed exist. That's a bold claim, Mr. Wright. Now let's see you back it up. Show us which piece of evidence points to a real murder weapon. Gladly. I knew which one it was. What would somebody like Andistan'dhin use to bludgeon someone?
Now then, defense, please submit your evidence to the court.
Yeah, let's see it, lawyer man. Let's see this thing that shows the real murder weapon you say I used. Wait, the guitar he has here is different than the guitar he has here. I'm gonna save here just in case, but I'm pretty sure I'm right in my theory. I think it's the guitar. I think it is. Because if he smashed it on his head, it would smash the guitar. The guitar would get destroyed too. That's right. That's why he has a different guitar here.
Take that!
What I'm about to present is really nothing more than a possibility. But this thin thread is all I've got. Allow me to direct the court's attention to this photo of the morning dance of devotion. That photo? How is that going to help you, Mr. Wright? There's something about it that doesn't sit right with me, yet it's a different guitar. Oh yeah? And what's this something, The thing here is odd, to say the least. Let me look at something else. He has the Magatama key on him too, but... What's odd about this photo, this guitar?
Take that!
Mr. Andistan'dhin. Mr. Andistan'dhin. Why is the instrument you're holding different from the one you're playing in this photo?
Would you look at that? They're completely different shapes.
I believe you said your Dalaman was your one and only.
Well, Mr. Andistan'dhin, what do you have to say?
I got nothing to say. Then allow me to answer for you.
They're different because the one in the photo is no longer in playable condition. Not after you used it to bludgeon Mr. Rawl to death. Yup. Ha 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 ha. My old partner wasn't doing so hot, so I brought her sister along, that's all. Then where is it? Show us the guitar. Not a big deal, lawyer man. In that case, please submit your old, the Malin to this court as evidence. Too bad. You're too late. I got rid of her yesterday. You what? Burned her up with the rest of the trash. Ashes to ashes, baby. Haha. No! It's already destroyed the evidence. And I see more trash right here in this court that needs to burn in the fires of hell. Lawyer trash. Ha 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 ha. Now there's no proof to show. Oh, come on. That was pathetic. Your agony can sound better than that. Where's that great scream of yours? This can't be how it ends.
I think I've heard about enough. It seems the defense is unable to produce evidence and needs to prove its assertion.
But your magistrate, that's only because the witness destroyed it. Evidence is everything in court. Don't tell me you've forgotten this most fundamental principle of our profession.
Without sufficient proof, your claim to Mr. Andistan'dhin is the murderer is no more than conjecture.
Ah. That's the pained expression I've been looking for. By the way, there seems to be one more thing you're forgetting.
What is it now?
You've accused Mr. Andistan'dhin of being the thief. But the real thief turned out to be the victim. Uh-oh. And with that, Mr. Andistan'dhin's purported motive for murder goes out the window. Ah. Great point, prosecutor. You tell him. If I had been there, I would have just collared Rawl and gotten the treasure back.
There wasn't any reason for me to kill him now.
Was there? Was there? There's no good counter-argument to that.
It sounds to me like Mr. Andistan'dhin has been completely wrongfully accused. Unfortunately, as it may be, I think it's time to hand down the verdict in this case.
Not good. Not good.
Defense, I trust you understand what you yourself will receive for taking on this case.
What do I do? The murder weapon's been destroyed, and now I've got no motive. Poor Ahlbi will be convicted, and I'll lose my life too. Mr. Wright, you wasted this court's time and disparaged everything we hold sacred. We should charge you lese majesty in addition to the crime of abetting the accused. Yeah, you should pay for desecrating my good name. Bye-bye, lawyer man. Time for you to do some repenting in the Twilight Realm. This guy is guilty as sin. I just know it. He must have had some reason to kill Mr. Rawl. But what? What's the motive here? Were they partners? Come on, people, let me hear you scream and shout. Time to take this lawyer trash out. Man, these people are psychos. Exterminate, annihilate, exterminate, annihilate. The thing to do at this time like this is to turn my thinking around. I shouldn't be trying to figure out what Andistan'dhin's motive was. I should be thinking about what kind of situation would give him a motive. Did you steal it? He said. Oh, my controller died. And it died at the worst moment too. Hold on, guys. Oh man, my control. Right when I'm about to get to the truth. Right when I'm literally about to figure out the whole thing, and the controller dies. My God, I got some bad luck. Sorry about that, guys. So my controller died, and it just sucks. It died at the worst possible moment too. Okay. Here's the moment of truth now. Crack the case. Wide open. Did you steal it, he said. It was because it was already stolen when he got there. That's why. And Rawl would know that he did it. We know that Mr. Rawl was the thief and that he had gotten his hands in the box. But then why? Why in the world did he ask Ahlbi that question? What about the treasure box would have prompted him to... Ah, it's already been stolen.
Defense, what's gotten into you?
Now I get it. And now it all makes sense. Like Kunka, man, what you trying to say? Mothering and squealing to yourself sounds like you knocked something loose upstairs. Your Majesty, please hold off on your ruling for just a little while longer.
Don't tell me you're going to start begging for your life now.
No, Your Majesty, that's not it. It's just that I realized something important. We've been operating under a serious misconception this whole time.
A misconception, you say?
That's right. A mistaken notion about the treasure box. Could this really be true? If so, there's still a lot to figure out.
Very well, let's hear what you have to say.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Your Majesty, this is just more of his nonsense. He's just stalling for time.
This is your last chance, Defense. The second I find it really is nothing but nonsense. No amount of begging will stay my hand. Understand?
Yes, Your Majesty. We all know this is just going to be another one of your stupid bluffs.
Now then, Defense, what is the misconception you mentioned?
The thing we didn't realize at the treasure box was that... it was empty. I'll say it was empty. What if the treasure box was already empty from the start? What?
What?
Please recall. Now when Mr. Rawl ran to Ahlbi on the Great Stairs, he asked the boy a question. Did you steal it? He said. Also recall that Mr. Rawl was holding the treasure box at the time. So why didn't he ask Ahlbi the question that he did?
That is a bit peculiar, isn't it?
Not at all, Your Majesty. Not once you realize that. By the time Mr. Rawl got to the treasure room, the treasure box was already empty.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Rawl suspected that Ahlbi got into it first, which is why he confronted Ahlbi when he ran to the boy on the stairs.
Objection!
But how would the victim have known the treasure box was empty? He didn't have any way of opening it.
Objection!
Once a year, the victim had the duty of carrying the treasure box to the palace. He was so proud he was put in charge of guarding that treasure box. He even got to carry the box to the palace for the New Year's rite. He would have been able to tell by the weight when he lifted it that the box was empty.
Oh, I see. Yes, I suppose he would have been able to tell, wouldn't he?
Mr. Rawl most likely has decided to at least steal the empty box. It's an important historical artifact in and of itself, after all. But what's your point, Mr. Wright? What does any of this have to do with Mr. Andistan'dhin? My point is this. It gave Mr. Andistan'dhin a motive to murder the victim. A motive? Mr. Andistan'dhin, keeping the treasure safe is one of your duties, isn't it? So if anyone had found out that the treasure was missing, you would have been accused of incompetence. From the moment Mr. Rawl discovered that the treasure was gone, his fate was sealed. Because you decided then that he had to be silenced forever. But that's absurd! Can you believe the
stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth. This is all just a colossal joke.
So then what really happened to the treasure?
It had been stolen long before this incident occurred. By Mr. Pesselbun Andistan'dhin himself.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to accuse Mr. Andistan'dhin? Your Majesty, please don't listen to these trumped-up charges.
The defense is grasping. The treasure box can only be opened with the key Mr. Andistan'dhin holds. Who else could have stolen that treasure?
As I said, the accused stole a treasure by forcing open the box. Your Majesty, I call for a swift ruling.
I'm not ready to give my verdict yet.
What?
The defense has successfully presented a new possibility in this case. Yes, finally. Tiny shred of hope.
Mr. Andistan'dhin, would you care to make any statements in response to the defense's claim?
This is all bull. My noggin's a rage cage, and it's ready to explode, baby.
Instructor Andistan'dhin, please calm yourself.
I'm not gonna take it. No, I ain't gonna take it. I dutifully watched over that treasure of pride. And now I'm getting accused of stealing it? This lawyer is a lying scumbag. You better believe I got something to say. Open up your ear holes, sheep, let's rock. Deaf to the lying lawyer.
Man, I wonder what Clavier would think of his music. Final cross-examination, then. Lying lawyer.
Steal the Founder's orb? Me? I did it? This lying lawyer's insults. No limit. All this time, I guarded the orb faithfully. Sacred duty to Holy Mother. Easy to see. Hands unclean. The accused did the deed. Forced the box open. No key did he need. Lying lawyer. Condemn him to hell. Kick him, throw him into a prison cell.
Alright, we've now heard from both sides. Either the treasure box was forced open by the accused, as the witness claims, or Mr. Andistan'dhin opened it. As the defense claims, defense, this is your last chance to cross-examine the witness.
Yes, Your Majesty.
If you are unable to prove your assertions by the end of this cross-examination,
then the DC Act will come into play and both you and the accused will lose your lives.
I understand. Life or death. It all comes down to this. Mr. Wright. Don't worry, Ahlbi. I'm here to defend you. I promise it'll be alright. Thank you. I believe in you, Mr. Wright. I know you can win this for us. And after we win, we can go see Miss Maya. Together. It's a deal. I can't let Ahlbi down. I have to win this trial. Somehow, I have to prove that only Andistan'dhin could have stolen the treasure. Do your worst, lawyer trash. This is your requiem. The last song you'll ever hear on this mortal coil. Lying lawyer. Deal the Founder's orb. Me, I did it. This lying lawyer's insults know no limit.
Hold it!
The final lie, we gotta catch him in something here. But the argument that the orb was already gone before the murder fits all the facts.
It's no use even talking to you.
Where's your proof that I stole the orb? Huh, lawyer trash? Right, I don't have any proof. Yet, but I'll find some. All this time, I guarded the orb faithfully. Sacred duty to Holy Mother, easy to see.
Hold it!
Your sacred duty, huh? The problem with that is that I don't think you really are a true believer.
Why you?
How dare you question my faith? It's downright insulting. I'm not trying to insult you, but I can't suspend logic either. You wormed your way into this temple with the intent of stealing the treasure, didn't you? I've had all the insults I can take out of you, lawyer trash. But you're the only one who can open the treasure box. You just keep on arguing the same old lie. I sing the truth. Hear my battle cry. Hands unclean. The accused did the deed. Forced the box open. No key did he need.
Hold it!
The defendant didn't force the box open. That's a lie. In fact, you're the one who opened it. Isn't that right? Come on. You just saw for yourself, didn't you? The lock was busted on account of the box being forced open. Oh, yeah. But he was panicking over that key. Why was he so scared over that key? Well, there's your proof right there. Score 1 for the metalhead. Look, if the accused really didn't try to force his way into the box, then how do you explain why the lock was busted and wouldn't open up for you earlier? How do I explain why the box wouldn't unlock earlier? Maybe there's... I think a different key, because the key didn't fit. I like to suggest that a different key is required to open it.
A different key?
To open the box. As we saw earlier, the box wouldn't open with Mr. Andistan'dhin's key. Which means that a different key, the true key, must exist. Ah, are you kidding me? Of course not. You can't prove that it doesn't exist. Just calm down a second and think about it, lawyer man. Why in the world would I bring a fake key here with me? Why, you ask? Well, because... Well, I guess he got me there.
Looks like that babbling brook you call a mouth has dried up at the source, defense.
Darn, messed that one up.
Witness, please continue your testimony.
Hold it!
It's a different way to open it then. There's a different way to open the box. Huh? What are you talking about? There's a secret trick to opening it to protect its contents from being stolen. And you're the only one who knows how it works, isn't that right? Are you for real? You've been watching too many movies, lawyer man. Ah, so you're one of those tourists. Honestly, Mr. Wright, did you come expecting magic and mystery around every corner?
I'll have you know, defense, the kingdom of Kurrain is not some sort of fantasy funland.
It's true, I don't have any real grounds to make that assertion. And yet... Oh yeah, I feel another song coming on. A little number about a crazy lawyer with wild, fantastic ideas. The real method to open the lock, you say. Delusional man, there ain't no other way.
Oh, a new verse. Please do add it to your testimony, Mr. Andistan'dhin.
The real method to open the lock, you say. Delusional man, there ain't no other way. Not even the Magatama key can open it.
Hold it!
Delusional am I? We'll see about that. Wild ideas, that's called delusion. Mixed up lawyer drowned in confusion. Indeed, the defense's sinful wrongdoing has made him lose touch with reality. Let's hear it what it'll be for this sinner's flight of fancy. Nothing, because I'm not delusional one. I just know there's gotta be some secret trick to opening the treasure box.
Oh, really? And where exactly is the secret hidden? The secret is obviously hidden in... key? There's obviously some secret hidden in the key. I'd like to examine it if you please. Haha! You don't know when to quit, do you? Here, go ahead. Examine it all you like. Nothing. I don't see a thing.
Well, defense, what have you discovered?
I'm afraid I haven't discovered anything, Your Majesty. Here, I'll turn it now. I told you, didn't you? I tell you. It's gotta be on the box, then. There's just no reasoning with this man. The accused forced the lock open. There's no other explanation. That's right. He desecrated the box by opening it without using the, Mitama key. Wait. What did he just say? I'll sing as many times as I have to get through your thick lawyer skull. Only Mitama key unlocks the treasure. Force it and reap the founder's displeasure. Yeah! For the forgetful defense's sake, could you please add that to your testimony? If I have to. Carve it into your brain, lawyer man. Reap the founder's displeasure.
Hold it!
There must be some secret trick to this key. Oh yeah? And what exactly is the secret trick? Huh? What's that smug look for? Maybe something like... can change shapes. Wow, man. That's some wild imagination you got there. I'll give credit where credit's due. You can daydream like a champ. Just like any Magatama, this key is made of a translucent material. One look and it's pretty obvious it can't change shapes. Yeah, I was really sold on that one myself. But I feel like there was something odd about the andistan'dhin's testimony just now. I think I better take another look through the evidence. Only the Mitama key unlocks the treasure. Force it open and reap the founder's displeasure. When the butterfly embraces the Mitama, the favor of the orb is bestowed. There's a butterfly on it, too. When a butterfly embraces the Mitama, the favor of the orb is bestowed.
Objection!
No, that's wrong, but... It's this. You hold the key to the butterfly. Is that what it could be?
Objection! Hold it! Hold it!
I already looked at this one.
Hold it! Objection!
Yeah, it's the key, but... Just a minute, Mr. Andistan'dhin. You just called your key the minima key, didn't you? But didn't you originally say it's called the Magatama key? Oh, that's right, yeah.
The minima key. What's that?
I don't know, Your Majesty. But apparently, it's a rather crucial question. What? What's the big deal? So I said the wrong thing, so what? Simple slip of the tongue. An A for effort, Mr. Wright, but your grandstanding, betrays your desperation. I'm afraid a small slip of the tongue like that adds absolutely nothing to your argument.
What you say, defense, is an important detail.
Judging by Andistan'dhin's reaction, I'd say it's everything my argument needs. Yes, Your Majesty, it's very important. This key is apparently not the Magatama key, but rather the minima key. And I believe this discrepancy holds great significance for the defense. Nah, man, just a meaningless mistake. Insignificant. You're riding the crazy train of nowhere, lawyer man. Your Majesty, please don't, pay the defense any heed. It's all nonsense.
To tell the truth, I'm not really clear on what the defense is driving at myself. However, I'm eager to find out.
What?
Defense, you will explain yourself like your life literally depends on it. Because it does. Now then, is name it the key an important detail?
Yes, it's an absolutely important detail, I think. Because the minima key is connected to the Founder's Orb.
I see. Very well. In that case, please show the court the grounds on which you are basing this claim.
The grounds, Your Majesty.
You can of course show grounds, can you not, defense?
Oh, of course. What else can I say? I have to come up with something. Anything. Even if it's a bluff. Minima key. Minima. There has to be something somewhere that ties minima and the orb together.
Don't keep me waiting, defense. What evidence shows a connection between the minima key and the Founder's Orb?
The Song of Ceremony. When Dragon and Tiger battle, the Founder offers divine protection. When the butterfly embraces the minima, the favor of the orb is bestowed. This one.
Take that!
What's that? The Song of Ceremony?
All this time, the answer was right here in front of me. It's right there in the Song of Ceremony performed during the Dance of Devotion. Your Majesty, the Song of Ceremony tells of the treasure of the founders of Kurrainism. But hidden within its lyrics is a secret behind how to really open a treasure box.
Oh,
Holy!
Mother! But how can that be, defense?
The Song of Ceremony contains the following lyrics. When the butterfly embraces the minima, the
favor of the orb is bestowed. I believe the minima here refers to the minima key.
Well, yes, it is the same word, but that doesn't mean...
We've been calling this key the Magatama key. And that's why I inserted the key into the lock with the Magatama design on it. But that was obviously not the right way to use it.
And I suppose you know the right way.
I do, Your Majesty. To use the key properly, you have to first... When the dragon and tiger battle, the founder offers divine protection. When the butterfly embraces the minima, the favor of the orb is bestowed. Upside down. Look at that. Look at where the butterfly is. The shape. It's literally exactly the same as the minima key. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna flip it, and let me just look at the picture one more time. I don't want to mess this up. Yeah, it's the shape right there. If we turn a Magatama shape upside down like this. Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't get the shape wrong. It becomes the Kurrain symbol of the soul. In other words, a minima.
Oh my, you're absolutely right. But now what? What do you do with it? It's too big to fit in the lock anyway.
Oh, I knew he was just bluffing. Bluffs and lies are the only tools of this trade, after all. There must be some other place this key fits, but where? The butterfly! Or the words of the Song of Ceremony again. When the butterfly embraces the minima, the favor of the orb is bestowed. Where should the minima key actually be used?
My goodness! The treasure box, it really opened.
No way, man. What? No! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the real secret behind the Song of the Ceremony. It's the true key to opening the treasure box. It's all over, Mr. Payne. How so? Let's say someone was fooled into trying to force the front-facing lock open. Sadly for them, it won't budge. That's because the lock is, after all, just a decoy.
Then, what you're saying is...
Neither the victim nor the defendant would have been able to open the box. They therefore had no way of stealing the treasure. The only way, one who could have stolen it is the one who knew about the minima key. Pesulabun andistan'dhin. Ah! But I'm not done yet. Please recall the scene of the crime. On the floor of Mr. Rawls' body was a very unlocked and very open treasure box. Only someone who knew how to open the box would have left it in that state. And so, there can only be one true culprit. Admit it, Mr. Andistan'dhin. You're the one who killed Mr. Rawl.
Ironic is that I hit him on the head. Yeah, great. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Curse him. It's all his fault. Why do you have to try and steal the treasure? Why'd I have to spot him with that box? On my way to the storeroom after the morning dance. It's his fault I had to cause that blackout and clock him good. I couldn't let my secret get out. Nobody could know the treasure box was empty. I'd lose my position as head mug. Who knows what else they'd do to me. I couldn't let... I had to stop him.
What a shocking development. I can scarcely believe it. Nothing like this has ever happened since the DC Act was enacted 20 years ago.
No, my perfect, unblemished record destroyed because you had no one to compete with you. The incredible pain ruined. No! Did the lawyer really win? I can't believe it. No way. This can't be happening.
Peace! I said peace! Honestly speaking, I'm just as shocked as everyone else. But the truth has been made known, so it's time for me to give my verdict. In the name of the Holy Mother, this court finds the accused Ahlbi Urgate
Not guilty. Yay! I like how instead of, yeah, so, like, the theme is just different. Like, these birds just fly around. April 24, 1:36 p.m. High Court of Kurrain. Accused, lobby. There's still quite a commotion. People from the gallery show no sign of clearing out. I can't believe it. Not guilty? I'm still in shock. Can you believe that guy? I can feel everybody's eyes on me. This can't be happening. It's impossible. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve us. I've never been in a defendant lobby quite this uncomfortable. It shattered everything they believed in, this trial. Mr. Wright. Oh, Ahlbi. Thank you. Thank you so much for what you did for me. I'm just glad it turned out okay. It was, touch and go there for a while. I'm really sorry, Mr. Wright. I had a really hard time trusting you at first. That's okay, Ahlbi. I know how unpopular lawyers are in this country. But how did it ever get this way in the first place? Allow me to explain. At least, I wish I could explain. But I don't really know why. I never even questioned before today. By the time I was born, all the lawyers were already gone. As far back as I can remember, verdicts have been based on her benevolence's insights. Right. Rafa, the royal priestesses. You would imply that the trials of this country are unfair? Do explain, outsider. How verdicts founded on truths imparted by the very souls of the deed lack impartiality. For her part, I'm sure she really believes in what she says, but even her benevolence is divination. Seance's lawyers are still necessary. Without proper defense, people could easily wind up receiving wrongful convictions. Mr. Wright. Shh. Huh? Don't say that so loud. People might think you're a rebel. You could be arrested. A rebel? That's right. One of those people going against our queen and the court system. They call themselves the Defiant Dragons. Rebels. And they're led by a scary guy named Dirk. They'll do anything to overthrow her eminence, even commit crimes. Dirk. I remember people in the gallery mentioning that name. things you're saying sound a lot like the stuff they say. But you're not scary like that Dirk guy. Pardon the intrusion. Who the hell are you? You, yeah, you. I want to talk to you, see? Flight, is it? Right, sir. Phoenix Wright. And you are? I'm the Kurrain's Minister of Justice. The name is Igna Karakul Kurrain. I oversee the whole legal shebang. I was watching the three-ring circus in there. You were? Wow. The Minister of Justice. So, he's in charge of the entire court system, Defense Culpability Act and all. Mr. Igna, how are you, sir? Run along, Mini-Monk. Grown-ups are talking here. Yes, sir. Very sorry, sir. May I help you with something? Just wanted a good look at you. Guys like you aren't exactly a dime a dozen around here. Huh. Well then. He's eyeing me like I'm some kind of exotic creature in a cage. Oh yeah, might as well share his little morsel with you. Turns out Raw was a seasoned thief, or a repeat offender, see? I had my men look into it, and they found all the booty he pilfered right there in his digs. But he seemed like such a nice man. Why, Mr. Raw, why? Guess he was doing it for the family. What a mook. Oh, a mook? How can you say that? Guess that kind of sob story gets you common folk all misty-eyed, huh? Anyway, another thing. I had my men check out that andistan'dhin fella too. He wasn't the one with the sticky fingers, it's the insurgents. What? They put the squeeze on our head monk, apparently. So he gave up the Founder's Orb and tried to keep it hush-hush. Well, I see. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah. Say, White. That was a cute little number you pulled in my courtroom today, wasn't it? First not guilty ruling in 23 years. You're making waves, see? Stirring the pot. Catch my drift. Oh, well, yikes. I'm in for it now. But thanks to that song and dance, we know our precious national treasure got nicked. I'm gonna call it a wash and let it slide this time. But all I did was defend the accused. You do best to read between the lines here, chump. You're standing on thin ice, you get my drift. Even a dirty, no-good, Nick Punk knows to cash in his chips before the house steps in. I don't like this guy. Do us both a favor. Keep an eye on the path you're walking down. You never know whose toes you might be stepping on. This ain't your turf, buddy. Never forget whose soil it is you're standing on. Wow. Yikes, he was kind of scary, wasn't he? Yeah, well, no use worrying about it. We have more important things to think about. Such as when we can continue the sightseeing tour. Oh, anytime, sir. We still have plenty of time until Miss Maya's training ends. And there are lots more temples to see, and all kinds of local foods to eat. I can show you the natural beauty of the area, and the waterfalls used for training, and I haven't shown you the breathtaking mountain view from the Plaza of Devotion yet, and there's still a place where we dangle off a really great view of the Twilight Realm, and alright, slow down, Ahlbi. There's plenty of time. And when we're done with all that, we can go see Miss Maya together. Yeah, you bet. Maya, wonder how she's doing. Hope she's okay.
So, how about that not guilty, Dirk?
I heard.
Dirk.
Sounds like the winds of change are beginning to stir.
He's the rebel leader, apparently. Well, if he wants to overthrow the current government in Kurrain, he can't be that bad of a guy, can he? Okay. We will leave it off here, guys. That was a long one. 4 hours. It was like, usually there's like parts in between, but that was, you know, all in just one go. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. If you did, do drop a like, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.